telling them that Collinsville is where it's at. So when we on the field of court, they better be aware of that. They scared of that. Of course, look at the ceiling. What up, Mr. Floyd? Yeah, it's Collinsville. And yeah, so glad to say that I'm a Kahok. I'm about to graduate. Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
White and purple, yeah, I know you see it. You see the chaos and you tell yourself you wanna be it. I go to CHS, so I am a champ. I ran this game so long, I'm starting to get a stomach cramp. Class of 1, 2, but we're number one. Shout out to all my juniors, yeah, you know we get it done. White and purple, you already know. It's little easy peasy and that boy lay low.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
I'm by my white and purple, Scarface and DJ Screw. We on the peak of the mountain, best at what we do. Yeah, we the champs, homie, but we ain't selling shoes. These boys bleeding purple, call us the chiefin' crew. They don't gotta do it big, cause I don't play with sports. I play my cards right, now a good report. When Dub 12 comes, it's time to roll off. I'm the back cause everybody rolling with me, K-Hawks.
Yeah, you know what it is.
All the freshmen, boys,
High school champions.
yeah, they know what it is.
All around my town, everything is
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
we shut it down for the school and the sports team.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
And a very good evening to everyone as we walk you to the big old town of Belleville, Illinois. Belleville West High School is where we are. We have a little Lady Kahawks soccer action coming up for you as your Collinsville Lady Kahawks get ready to take on the host Belleville West Lady Maroons. I am Todd Duke. Very good evening once again to everyone. Welcome into the pregame show brought to you tonight by LC's Pub in Caseyville. Great food, great drinks, great service, all served up daily at LC's Pub in Caseyville. Location, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, just kind of a stone's throw from Kahok Stadium there. You can give them a call for some carry-out orders. They'll cook you up some food. All you got to do is drive in, pay for it, pick it up, take it home. Everybody's happy. 618-855-9007 is the number for LC's Pub in Caseyville. JV game just ended. Collinsville lost that one by a score of 3-0. Belleville West scored in the first half in the 20th minute to go up 1-0. Stayed that way through halftime, and then Collinsville, unfortunately, hit an own goal, and Belleville West went up 2-0. And then about 5 minutes later, Belleville West scored again to give us our 3-0 score. Collinsville actually looked pretty good. Lady Kahawks in the first half controlled most of the offensive zone time and had some chances, but just couldn't put one into the back of the net, and the JV team loses by a score of 3-0. Let's move on to the varsity side of things. Collinsville comes into this contest at 1-3 on the young season. They are 1-0 in Southwestern Conference play under their fourth-year head coach Jody Munoz, who has a record of 14 wins and 48 losses. Belleville West, they are 3-2-1 on the year. They are also sitting 1-0 in Southwestern Conference play. Jason Mathenia is the head coach here at Belleville West. He is into his 24th year in that position and has a record of 274 wins, 216 losses, and 41 ties. Well, the Lady Kahawks are coming off of a hard-fought 1-0 Southwestern Conference win over Belleville East Thursday night at Kahok Stadium in the conference opener for both teams. Junior Carly Call picked up the lone goal in the game about 15 minutes into the match, and the defense, along with sophomore keeper Paige Bonemeyer, did the yeoman's work to hold the Lady Lancers at bay and pick up the team's first win of the season. For Carly Call, it was her second goal of the young campaign. Bonemeyer turned aside 10 shots on goal in that win to pick up the clean sheet. The win over Belleville East Thursday snapped a 6-game win streak by the Lady Lancers over Collinsville. The last win for the Lady Cahoks over Belleville East came on April 15th of 2021, a 2-0 win at Belleville East. That was the first season back after the pandemic year that saw the entire 2020 season get wiped out because of COVID. Collinsville has lost their last 4 matches to these Belleville West Lady Maroons, but in Coach Jody Munez's first year at the helm of Lady Kahok Soccer, Collinsville beat Belleville West in both the home and the away games, 3-2 at Kahok Stadium in 2022, and then 3-1 here at Belleville West. Well, the Lady Maroons are off to a decent start to the new year and have already played 6 matches, the most in the Southwestern Conference to this point. Alton and Belleville East have played 5, while every other conference team has played 4. In all 3 wins so far this season for Belleville West, Lady Maroons have put up a clean sheet. In the 2 losses and the 1 tie, Belleville West has not scored a goal. Lady Maroons started the season with back-to-back wins. Belleville West started 2025 with a 4-0 shutout versus Civic Memorial, followed that up with a 2-0 win over Murfreesboro. A 2-0 loss to Naperville Central followed that 2-0 start, with all 3 of those games coming at home for Belleville West. The next match for the Lady Maroons is their only road match up to this point in the season, and that was a 0-0 tie at Granite City. Belleville West returned home and put up a 7-0 rout over Alton on Thursday before a home loss Saturday morning to Winnetka New Trier 2-0. 13 goals in 3 wins, 0 goals in their other 3 matches for Belleville West. Tonight, by the way, is the first of 3 games in 3 days for Belleville West. No pregame interview to give you today. We got wires crossed, and was supposed to do a senior interview, but no one ever told me that it was okay to talk to a certain player, so I just went without one. And then after I got up here into the booth, after I went down and got the lineups, then I found out that that person was like, okay, we'll go ahead and do an interview. So we'll do that one during the next game. That'll be a week from Thursday at home against O'Fallon. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll go through a little history between these 2 lady soccer programs, Belleville West and Collinsville, and we will do that for you next as the LC's Pub pregame show continues here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice. Are you a collector of sports trading cards and other sports memorabilia? Then you need to check out Rippin' Rookies Cards and Collectibles in Collinsville. Rippin' Rookies specializes in sports cards from all the major sports, MLB, NBA, NFL, plus Star Wars cards and more. Rippin' Rookies buys, sells, and trades cards and other memorabilia, and they have a large selection of single and graded cards. Walk-ins at Rippin' Rookies are welcome, or you can set up an appointment for large collections at sales@rippinrookies.com. Rippin' Rookies, 102 East Clay Street in the Old Herald Complex. Open Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Rippin' Rookies, Collinsville sports card and memorabilia destination.
Want to catch some of the best live music in Collinsville from a band of all Collinsville area residents? Look no further than Sonically Pleasing. Sonically Pleasing with former Kahok Logan Carlisle, his dad Tim, along with Caleb Tanzius, play some of the best rock and roll hits from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. You can catch Sonically Pleasing at some of the area's finest venues, as well as book Sonically Pleasing for your private event or party. To put some music in your life, it's Sonically Pleasing. Check out Sonically Pleasing's Facebook page for upcoming live show dates and to book them for your special event or to call to book that event at 618-401-0052. Pleasing live rock music for your ears. Sonically Pleasing, 618-401-0052. Is it finally time to start doing what you've been talking about doing for years? Start making those plans right now and let Northwestern Mutual help you plan your future. Former Kahok Joe Philpott can help you get started with that plan today. Joe Philpott, a financial advisor with Northwestern Mutual, can help build a plan specifically for you with a wide range of financial options and the flexibility to change that plan as your priorities change. To get started on your future, give Joel Philpott a call today at Northwestern Mutual's Fairview Heights office at 618-606-2022. Spend your life living with Northwestern Mutual. Call Joel Philpott today, 618-606-2022. Caseyville VFW Post 1117 Auxiliary supports the VFW with post projects and fundraiser events. The Caseyville VFW Auxiliary also provides donations and sponsorship for Veterans in Need, Jefferson Barracks in St. Louis, the Caseyville Food Pantry, outreach programs, summer lunches for students in the Collinsville Unit 10 School District, and now the Kahok Sports Network. Plus, sponsoring CHS programs like band, theater, and sports. If you would like to provide support or join the Caseyville VFW Auxiliary, contact the Caseyville VFW Post 1117 at 618-344-9878. Looking for something to get your high school student involved in? Maybe joining the Collinsville Kahok Trap Team is that something. Created in 2017, the Collinsville Kahok Trap Team has joined a long line of area schools in one of the fastest growing and safest sports in the country. Trap shooting is a fun, team-oriented outdoor sport that offers friendship, competition, and teamwork, all in a safe and fun environment that encourages students to be part of a team in which they will learn valuable skills and are encouraged to engage in community involvement through volunteering and mentoring. If Collinsville Trap sounds like something your student would be interested in, call Collinsville Trap at 618-795-9893 or visit Collinsville Kahok Trap on Facebook. Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud Kahok alums. Located at 1966 Vandalia, Collinsville Barbecue Supply is your one-of-a-kind barbecue headquarters that focuses on everything barbecue and cooking, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, in-person class instruction, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts, including an in-house chef and pitmaster. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning sauces and rubs that supports our nation's first responder and military organizations that focus on the fallen, suicide prevention, and PTSD awareness. Stop on by, see the guys at Collinsville Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of the four-time world champion Patriot Sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at collinsvillebarbecue.com or call 618-855-8855. Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Jason Regg, your Benjamin F. Edwards financial advisor, understands this. That's why Jason Regg is a proud supporter of your Collinsville Kahawks and the Kahok Sports Network, as well as the Kahok Educator of the Month Award. For all of your investment needs, see financial advisor and investment vice president Jason Regg at the Benjamin F. Edwards office in Collinsville, located at 1008 Vandalia Street, or call Jason Regg at 618-223-5215 or visit benjaminfedwards.com. Benjamin F. Edwards, member SIPC.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans, Plus, they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice.
Once again, we welcome you back into the LC's Pub pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network, getting you ready for a little Lady Kahok soccer action as they take on the Belleville West Lady Maroons here at Belleville West High School. My name is Todd Duke. Welcome in once again. Before I get ready for all these games, I gather the stats, gather the rosters, and all that kind of stuff, and I always do a look back in history to get a history report on not only the sport but the team as well. I do it all the time, and I very rarely ever have time to pass along that information to you because we just run out of time, and we have pregame guests and interviews and all kinds of other different stuff we do. So we'll go ahead and take advantage of the fact that I do not have a pregame interview tonight to get you caught up with a little bit of Lady Kahok soccer action history between Collinsville and Belleville West. Kahok girls soccer started back in 1984. It was 11 years later before Belleville West finally jumped on the bandwagon and started their own girls soccer program. That was in 1995, and that year was the first recorded meeting between the two schools, and Collinsville won that first contest by a score of 5-0, and that was back in the day when they only met each other once every year. So between that first meeting in 1995 through 2005, that was 10 years, Collinsville went 15-0 versus Belleville West. Lady Maroons finally broke through on April the 20th of 2006 with their first win over Collinsville, a 2-1 win at Kahok Stadium. In that year's regional playoffs at Belleville West, the Lady Kahoks would take down Waterloo in regional semifinal action, but then they would lose to the Maroons 3-1 in regional championship game. After winning those first 15 matches versus Belleville West, the Lady Maroons would go on to win the next 7 matches and knock Collinsville out of the regional playoffs 3 times in a 4-year span. Collinsville finally got the better of Belleville West in the 2010 regionals and beat Belleville West 2-1 in that year's regional championship game before losing in the sectional championship game 2-1 to Joliet Township. That was Ron Rowden's final season. Clay Smith, of course, took over the following year. Collinsville has, by the way, lost their last 4 meetings with Belleville West, 2 in 2023 and 2 last year. And if you add all that up overall altogether, Collinsville is 30-8 versus Belleville West in the regular season, but Belleville West is 4-2 versus Collinsville in the playoff meetups. So overall, Collinsville has a 32-12 record versus Belleville West. So there is a little history report for you. Jason Matheny, as I mentioned, had been here since 2001, and they've only had one other coach since then. So the program's history here at Belleville West, they have had 2 head coaches. So that's a little different. You don't see that much in today's day and age. All right, we have one more break coming up for you, and when we come back, we'll pass along the starters for you for both of these teams, and we'll pass along what stats that we have through Belleville West's first 6 games and Collinsville's first 4 games, and we'll do that next as the LC's Pub pregame show continues here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice.
We love to have you come work for the city of Collinsville. We have many positions available, from seasonal jobs to full-time opportunities in many of our departments. From police and fire to Gateway Center, Parks and Recreation, and City Hall. Our employees enjoy great benefits like comprehensive medical plans, paid time off, tuition reimbursement, and more. Visit the city's website, collinsvilleil.org, to apply and learn more about working for the city of Collinsville.
All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is number one on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent service staff. Did we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. And of course, All Pro Tees is your destination for everything Collinsville Kahawks. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville at 2240 South Morrison Avenue. Online at allprotees.com. Right across the street from Kahok Stadium. All Pro Tees, 618-344-2200. Celebrate the life of your loved one should be as special as the person they represent. That's why you will always find the staff at Her Funeral Home in Collinsville ready to go the extra mile to meet the needs of you and your family during those times. For over 100 years, Her Funeral Home has been there for Collinsville and the surrounding communities. Of the many arrangements made after losing a loved one, the first is the selection of a funeral home. The staff at Her Funeral Home in Collinsville can help with that planning. Call Her Funeral Home in Collinsville at 618-344-0187. Her Funeral Home, serving Collinsville families for over 100 years. 618-344-0187. Looking for a new place to catch the game with cold drinks and great food? Look no further than 1101 Bar and Grill in Caseyville. 1101 Bar and Grill features pizza, burgers, wraps, and salads, plus 7 large screen TVs to catch the latest Kahawk games and all the pro sports across the spectrum, plus all the college football and basketball you can handle. 1101 Bar and Grill in Caseyville, 1101 Caseyville Road, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. Call 1101 Bar and Grill for carryout orders at 618-223-1332. Got questions about Medicare? If you're approaching the age of 65, the answer to that question is a resounding yes. Bill Holton is a former Collinsville Raider and Kahawk football player and is now an independent broker with Senior Health Plans, and he can answer all of those tough questions when it comes to Medicare. Which plan, which part, what's covered, and what's not. If you're approaching the age of Medicare and need those questions answered, let Bill Holton get you those answers. Bill Holton with Senior Health Plans. Call him today at 618-978-2306 or email Bill Holton at william.holton@yahoo.com. Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahawk fans, before, after, or even during Kahawk games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahawk games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahawk fans' pub of choice. Once again, we welcome you back here to Belleville West High School. Todd Duke is my name, just about ready to go as you see the teams out there being introduced. And we'll go ahead and do that ourselves. For the Maroons, in goal, you will find Brooke Stellhorn. And in front of Brooke Stellhorn, you will find freshman Lucy Sinjin and Emerson Morris, junior Livy Schaefer, another freshman, and Alyssa Sternow. Sydney Oliver is a junior. Addie Gagan is a senior. Hannah Sternow, a junior. Ella Dobe is a sophomore. Josie Coughlin, a sophomore, and another senior in Sophia Monaco. For Collinsville, Paige Bonemeyer is in goal, and in front of Paige you'll find senior Ella Smith. Another couple of seniors for you, Morgan Lang and Ava DiGirolamo. Rylan Judasek is a sophomore. Peyton DeHadaway, is a freshman. Ashley Giannini, a junior. Addie Munoz and Carly Call, both juniors. Liliana Lira, a senior. And Carly Van Dyke, the goalkeeper turned midfielder. She'll be wearing number 17 here tonight. She'll be out there as well. We take one more break as they get ready to play the national anthem here. When we come back, we'll throw some stats your way. All that and more coming up here next on the Kahok Sports Network.
VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville is one of the area's longest-running VFW posts. VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville is your place to meet and join other area veterans. Plus, VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville offers all kinds of activities to help our veterans, as well as engaging the public with fun, food, fellowship, and a great time for great causes. Blood drives, fundraisers, raffles, and a Queen of Hearts drawing every Wednesday night. Plus, VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville has event space for your parties, celebrations, and other get-togethers. For more information, check out the VFW Post 1117's Facebook page or call the Caseyville VFW at 618-344-9878.
The Collinsville Area Community Foundation is our community's charitable foundation. We connect people, support programs, and guide resources to help our community thrive. Our board is made up of local leaders that donate their time and expertise to identify opportunities for long-term community impact in and around Collinsville. Find out more about scholarships, grants, and ways to give back to the city we love by visiting CollinsvilleFoundation.com.
Mike's Automotive in Collinsville is a T3 certified tire dealer and so much more. Sure, Mike's Automotive has tires. They can also help with making sure your entire vehicle is road ready, from belts and hoses to preventative maintenance like oil changes and tire rotation. Plus a lot more than that. Mike's Automotive has 3 locations to choose from. Mike's Automotive in St. Louis and Millstadt, and Mike's Automotive in Collinsville at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call Mike's Automotive at 618-345-0611. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville.
Once again, welcome back to Belleville West High School. My name is Todd Duke. I gave you the starters. How about some stats to go along with those starters? We'll begin with Belleville West. Brooke Stellhorn in goal tonight for Belleville West. She's already got 440 minutes in goal under her belt this year, and she is 3-2-1. Just a couple of backups have played 10 minutes apiece, so she's played the majority of it and has given up 4 goals and made 27 saves. Her percentage there is 87.1%. In the other goal is Paige Bonemeyer. She's played 200 minutes so far this year. She is 1-1. She has given up 5 goals and made 28 saves. Her goals against average is 2.0, while her save percentage is at right around 85%. So both of them right around the same percentile there as far as averages go. The leading goal scorer for Collinsville is Carly Call. She has 2. Maddie Everwright has the other one. We thought that was Ava DiGirolamo's goal when we did the game for you at Edwardsville, but then the stats came in, and they ended up giving that goal to Everwright. And for Belleville West, Josie Coughlin and Livy Schaefer both have 4 goals apiece, and then Addie Gagan right behind them with 3 goals. And we want to say a big hello to Addie Butterfield. She's going to be operating the camera for us tonight. She's a freshman forward for the JV team. Zach Roseman was a little under the weather. He was actually supposed to stream the softball game today, but he couldn't do that. And Chris Kettler, his job is to operate the scoreboard at that softball game, so he couldn't join us either. So we had to press one of the JV girls into our camera position over here. It's unpaid, by the way, in case you didn't know that. Addie is a forward, correct? Yeah, freshman forward. And I was watching during the game, and she was doing pretty well out there. Got some speed and somebody to look forward to here a little later on the varsity side as the years go by. We are underway. Collinsville out there in the white jerseys with the purple numbers and the purple shorts. And Belleville West out there in the black uniforms. I'm having a hard time finding any maroon on those uniforms. All I see is black and white. And we have a very stiff breeze blowing, looks like straight out of the east right now. I know that's supposed to come up and come more out of the southeast later on tonight, because I was told that it's going to be warmer tomorrow morning than it was all day today. And that wind is bringing with it a little bit of a chill, and it is very, very windy outside. I would say sustained, probably around 15 to 17 miles per hour, but those wind gusts are well over 25 miles per hour. And for those of you watching at home, it is coming from the left to the right. So right now, Collinsville will start this game off kicking into the wind, while Belleville West will be going against it. And then we'll reverse that situation once the second half comes underway, and Collinsville will have that stiff wind at their back, and we'll see how that comes to fruition here as these two halves move forward. So we're just underway here, and here is Bonnemeyer kicking the ball out close to midfield. It's going to be hard to get it all the way out to midfield in this stiff wind, but Collinsville looking for a little offensive push here to start off with, and they give the ball over to Ellis Smith. Smith finds Judasek. Judasek gets kind of taken off the ball, and then it goes right in between the legs of Morgan Lang. So Belleville West trying to keep the ball into their offensive zone. That's another thing that's going to happen. You see how that ball took off there? Once that wind gets a hold of it, there's going to be no stopping it. It's going to scoot for a while. Collinsville will get the throw in all the way over there on the far side of the field. The softball team ended up losing tonight, or this afternoon, by the way, by a score of 12-2, and that rule, the mercy rule, took effect, and Belleville West had a 10-run lead after 5 innings, so they stopped it after 5 innings, and Belleville West won 12-2. Collinsville, they went on top 2-0 in the first inning of that game, so that's kind of nice to see, as we're going to have our first corner kick of this game, and it's going to belong to Belleville West. And we'll see what the Maroons can muster up here on a corner kick. They've got that wind that's, like I said, blowing from left to right, so the one that's going to start this off is Sydney Oliver. If she starts it off to the left, the wind's going to blow it back to the right, so Collinsville's got to look out for that, and that's exactly what happened. Bonemeyer comes out, takes care of it with her hands, but then Belleville West finds the rebound and then sends it through the football uprights, and that ball is going to bounce all the way over the fence and all the way out into the workout area for the football team there. So I told you, man, once that wind gets a hold of that ball is going to fly, and that's exactly what it's doing. Bonnemeyer is going to try to set the ball down on the smaller box, but it's already starting to blow back toward her as that wind will take effect, and that kick probably didn't even go 20 yards. So it's going to be a short field coming up on this end when the goal, when the keepers get to do a goal kick restart there, especially if they have to put it on the ground to do so. Belleville West will take over possession once again all the way over on the far side, and there's the wind. It'll pick that ball up and take it all the way down. And another goal kick restart coming up here for the sophomore goalkeeper for Collinsville, Paige Bonemeyer. 36.5 minutes left to go here. We're just underway in the first half. No score between Collinsville and Belleville West. No one's really got a shot on goal. I guess you could probably count that one for Belleville West, as it ended up going right to Bonemeyer. She knocked it down with her hands. That was on a corner kick. Belleville West takes over once again. Coming off of a loss, Belleville West is. Collinsville coming off of a win over crosstown rival for these Maroons, the Lady Lancers of Belleville East. Here's a nice little turn there by Morris. Shot taken, but blocked out by the defense for Collinsville. Now Senjin picks it up, and she'll bring it up, and that's blocked out momentarily, but it stays in bounds. And now turning the quarter is Lucy, and that ball is going to go over the line, and we're going to have yet another corner kick coming up here for Belleville West. Hold on to your hats, folks. There's a lot of folks out here wearing parkas and hoodies and got double hoods on some of these. Some have a hoodie on and a coat on over the top of that. So it's going to be a very interesting night here. Here is Oliver once again. She'll send that one out front. Collinsville's Giannini gets there first, uses her head to get it out of harm's way, and that's going to be a tough one. Boy, oh boy. That's that wind, man. Bonemeyer was underneath it, thought she had it, and that wind took it a little bit farther, and she's lucky she got a hand on it, as that was earmarked for that top left corner over there. And now we're going to have another corner kick coming up here for Belleville West. This is going to be their third corner kick in the first 5 minutes. This one's going to come from the opposite corner, though. So now they're going to have to start it off to the right and let the wind blow it back to the left, and that one comes out, and it goes over the end line after hitting absolutely no one. So Bonemeyer once again is going to have another corner or another goal kick restart coming up here. And these ones that she has to put on the ground, those are going to be kind of tough. Everybody knows it too. They're playing well shallow. That one is probably would have been out close to midfield, but it barely made it 30 yards past its starting point. Belleville West comes up with it. Collinsville then finds a loose ball. Here's Carly Call, team leader in goals with 2, finally getting into the Collinsville offensive area. And then it goes over to the far side. Trying to chase it down over there is DeHataway, but Belleville was already positioned nicely on that one and didn't let Collinsville get close. Here comes the Belleville West defense, transitioning it up to the offense, but getting there instead was Addie Munoz. Got introduced here to the crowd as one of our own, the PA announcer said. Her dad, of course, is Joe Munoz, the athletic director here at Belleville West High School. That ball is going to be wind-driven all the way across, and Collinsville is going to have a throw-in from all the way over on the far side of the field, and here is Liliana Lira to do just that. Up the line it goes, trying to find one of the Kahawks, and it ends up bouncing off one of the Collinsville players and comes down for one of the Belleville West players. Now here is Judasek. She gets the ball back over to Munoz, kicks it out toward midfield, but it didn't get very far. And then off the top of her head, I believe that is Lang that was out there doing all that. And now Collinsville, lots of headers out there trying to get that ball moving forward. Belleville West intercepts, though, and sends it back up to the corner of the 18-yard box, sent back out to Citizen. Collinsville trying to intercept, can't do so. And here is Sternow. Sternow all the way over outside the box, over by the corner kick on the far side. And getting a little competition over there from Collinsville's defense, so they'll send it back to the defense for Belleville West. That's Addie Gagan. Gagan sends the ball up. That is Addie Gagan with it over there now. I need to make these numbers on these jerseys bigger. And out toward midfield. Collinsville had the ball into the offensive zone across that 50-yard line of the football field just once so far. Didn't last very long. And now Collinsville will have a throw-in coming up here right at Belleville West, in front of Belleville West's bench. Ball comes in on the ground, picked up by Schaefer. Schaefer loses the ball. Collinsville finds it for a second, and then will volley it around for a little bit, and then the defense will go back to work here. Oh, I thought I started my clock, but I guess I didn't. All right, come on, start. Okay, apparently my... Why is my thing not working here? Okay. All right, well, we're going to have to do that. Can't do that. I am just frozen out here on my little scoreboard thing. Okay, this is fun. All right, well, I appear to be on the air here, but I'm not getting any cooperation from my scoreboard. I can't even close it out. Isn't that nice? All right, how about that? We'll try it again. Meanwhile, we'll just let Addie over here show you all the pictures. We'll try bringing that up again, see if we can get this thing to work. They asked me if I wanted to download the latest version, and I didn't want to before a game started because then I got to reconfigure everything. So I stuck with the older version, and maybe that was the mistake. We'll find out. All right, well, there's 30 minutes and 15 seconds left, I can tell you that much. And Belleville West has the ball once again in their offensive zone. And that's off of one of the young ladies inside the 18-yard box. Collinsville trying to fight to get it out of there. They finally do so. And with 30 minutes left to go, Belleville West has controlled most of the offensive part of this. And I seem to have lost everything on my scoreboard here. So I am going to have to download the new version, and then I'm going to have to reconfigure everything. And I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do that while we're actually doing a game. We'll give it a try. See what that does. So hopefully it won't mess things up. It's already messed up, isn't it? That's what you're telling me, all right? It's already messed up. Well, let's go ahead and download the latest version, and hopefully it won't let me. It won't shut down everything. Do 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 do. All right, Collinsville gets it back out toward midfield. Belleville West uses a header, and that one's going to roll all the way to Bonemeyer. She shouldn't have any problem picking that up with that wind. That'll help that ball get there a lot quicker. 28:40 left here in this first half. Bonemeyer sends a pretty good shot into the wind there. Comes down, and Call takes care of it. And then it's sent up, but no one there wearing the purple and white. So the Maroons, they take care of it. And here is Monaco. She'll send the ball up. Collinsville sends it right back. And once again, that's about as far as we've gotten on the offensive side of things here for Collinsville. Over onto the far side, brought up once again. Here is Elsa Hubble. And that ball ends up going out of bounds. And Collinsville will have a throw-in. They're going to have a free kick here, aren't they? Offsides, says Addie Butterfield over here, because I'm still waiting for the, okay, there we go. Isn't commonly down. Okay, I trust it. Thanks for asking, though. All right. Let's see what we can do here. And we'll try to see if we can get this thing loaded up here. Of course, I'll probably have to reconfigure it and shrink it up and all that good stuff that I had to do any other time I've done an upload or a uploaded new version. That is the first activity that Brooke Stellhorn has seen, so that'll warm her up just a little bit. She sends the ball out, and here comes Belleville West, but not before Ashley Giannini could get there, and Giannini does a nice job as she banked it right off of the legs of Emerson Morrison out of bounds. So Collinsville will get the throw in. That's a nice heads-up play there by Giannini. 27 minutes what we have left coming up here. Man, I already did. Why are you asking me to download another version when I just did that? All right. Get rid of that. And bear with me here, folks. Unconfirmed download. All right. Well, apparently it didn't like my download, so we're going to try this one more time. The ball comes to the sideline, taken care of there by the coaching staff for Belleville West. Quick throw in by Monaco. And Belleville West goes back to work. In the front of the box it goes. Sent there by Coughlin. It comes back out. Belleville West trying to chase it down. Collinsville trying to get there first. They couldn't, but that ball goes out of bounds anyway. It'll be another Collinsville throw-in, and here is Ella Smith, who will handle that throw-in as we are just under 26 minutes gone here in this first half. And then Belleville West will send it up the sidelines once again. The wind is going to get a hold of that and send it all the way down across the line. And it's going to be a goal kick restart coming up here for Paige Bonemeyer once again. All right, let's see if we can get this. All right, yes. What? Oh, come on. Try that one more time. Bonemeyer sets the ball down. And ready to go as we approach 25 minutes left to play here. Yes, I want to download the new version. Desktop application, Windows. .8.0, that's what I want. And try that once again. And another shot toward the goal. That's blocked out on. A nice job there by Eddie Munoz on a shot by Hannah Sternow. And That ball had some miles per hour behind it, helped out by that win. Another save by Bonemeyer. And Belleville West right now has 3 shots on goal. Collinsville still trying to get a little push into the offensive zone. That ball up into the air gets a little farther than you would think it would be in this stiff wind. And Belleville West once again on the attack until Judasek gets a hold of it first. Sends it over to Ellis Smith. Smith pops the ball back out toward midfield, but again, Belleville West is there to send it the other way. I think that went off of Judasek's face. Here comes Belleville West again. That ball gets blocked out, and Giannini gets a hold of it and sends it back out toward midfield. Belleville West off of the shins there of Collinsville's SA-17. Oh, yeah, that is Carly Van Dyke. Had to write her in because her number is usually 30, but when she's playing out on the field and not in goal, they switch it over to 17, and it's down at the bottom of my roster. The rest of the roster is in numerical order, except for that one. And then over on the far side, Addie Gagan chases it down. All right, let's see if I can get this going on here again. I think I got to open it up and it's got to finish doing its thing. That's what the problem was. Throw in for Belleville West over on the far side. And the Maroons bring it over here once again for Monaco. And then over for Schaefer. Schaefer chases it down just outside the 18-yard box. Gets pushed off the ball by Smith. That ball goes across the line. And Belleville West is going to have their 4th corner kick of this game. All right. Downloads. Ta-da. Okay. In front. Belleville West puts on some more offense. That ball goes across the line. It's going to be another goal kick restart coming up here for the Maroons. Okay, why isn't this thing letting me do this? No, I don't want to do that. All right, come on. This is just not letting me do this. Still trying to use version 2.7, and I downloaded 2.8, and it's just not letting me do anything. And 2.7, all of a sudden, is blank. So, whatever. Right now, folks, I do not have a scoreboard, and I don't know why I can't get one. We are going to give this one more effort. And if it doesn't work, then we're going to call it a day. Bonemeyer sends it out once again. And Belleville West will intercept in the midfield area. Here is Oliver. Oliver sends it all the way over to the far side. And Belleville West going back to work. There is Dubé. Collinsville trying to chase it down off of Judasek. And then it gets closer to the 18-yard box. Belleville West still trying to find some room to move over there. Collinsville's defense shutting off kind of a lot of the avenues. And then Collinsville will send it all the way over to the far sideline. And sent back up. Collinsville pops it up. That is Judasek out toward midfield. Belleville West, they're the first ones to touch it. They have 4 players, make that 5 players all back near midfield, so kind of hard to get any farther than that. And that wind is going to pick up that ball and take it across the end line. And once again, we will have a goal kick restart coming up here for Paige Bonemeyer. 2.7. Live score 2.8 is available to download. Would you like to download the latest version? Yes, I would. All right, desktop application. That's exactly what I want. Standard scoreboard layouts, I do not. Elgato Stream Deck plugin, I do not. Okay. We'll see if this does anything. Collinsville pops it back up toward the midfield area. Comes off of one of the Belleville West players. Takes a nice Collinsville bounce, but then the Lady Maroons find the ball once again, and they'll send it all the way up into the 18-yard box. Bonemeyer will have no problem tracking that one down. And this time she'll get to hold the ball in her hands and do a more traditional restart kick, and that one doesn't make it out to midfield either. I'm telling you, that wind is very heavy. Play has been down at this end for a while now, and I'm sure you've noticed that American flag blowing in the wind down there as well, and you can tell, man, that thing is, it's a pretty big flag, and that thing's been stiff in the wind ever since I got here. I had to actually break out my winter coat again. I thought I was done with that thing for the year. Back and forth weather. Got some storms coming tomorrow, and we have our first look at the Kahok baseball team scheduled for tomorrow at GCS Ballpark, or what used to be called GCS, and that one goes wide. Thought the wind might have pushed that one a little bit closer. And we'll see what the storms have. Report this file is safe. Okay. Keep. Belleville West spending a lot of time in their offensive zone. Collinsville trying to chase it down over on the far side. Belleville West does a nice job keeping it in, and just outside the 18-yard box, it comes in. Collinsville gets a hold of it, though, and sends it back out, but then again stopped once again over there by Gagan. And then Collinsville, once again, will have a goal kick restart coming up here for Bonemeyer. All right, come on, let's see if this thing's going to work. There we go. Windows protected my PC. Defender Smart Screen prevented an unrecognized app from starting. I have had this app on my computer for like 9 years now, and all I want to do is upgrade to the latest version, and it's not letting me. Run anyway. Man. Might be getting somewhere. I don't know. Here comes Belleville West, and there is a nice job by Giannini to stop any kind of a shot on goal there. And that ball is going to roll all the way across the sideline over there, and Belleville West is going to have a throw-in. And we have 16 and a half minutes left to play here in this first half. All right, at least I got to the point now where it's letting me actually download it. This happened to me once at a basketball game, too. I kept on hitting no for the latest version, and eventually the older version is like, you know what, I just don't want to work anymore. So I quit. 16 minutes and some change left to play here in this first half. Collinsville trying to weather the storm here as they have the wind in their face to start off with. Bonemeyer, she's had her fair share of goal kick restarts here in this one so far. And here comes yet another. A line drive. The wind's going to cut that one down, and it'll be stopped at the 30-yard line of the football field markings. Belleville West goes back to work just outside the 18-yard box, but Collinsville punches it away, but can't keep it up before it ends up going out of bounds, and another throw-in coming up here for the Lady Maroons. And I believe Belleville West wants to make a substitution at some point as Lainey Capel is standing out at midfield wanting to come in. No movement yet off the Collinsville bench. Unless, of course, I've missed something. Whistle on the play. And I believe that's going to be against Collinsville. There is Everwright. So, yeah, we did have a couple of substitutions as Everwright is now into the game. And a free kick from about 40 yards out here for Belleville West. And this one going to be taken by Sofia Monaco, I think. No, she's going to walk away from the ball now. So it could be one of those, let's not do a kick, let's do a pass instead. But with that wind at your back, man, I'd go ahead and take the chance. But that's why I'm not the coach. I'm up here in the box. She will, and into the 18-yard box it goes, and then somebody got a hold of it and pushed it wide over on the far side. So Collinsville will have another goal kick restart coming up here. Hagan comes in for Belleville West, and Bonemeyer will send the ball back out to the field of play. 14 minutes and some change left here in this first half. No score between Collinsville and Belleville West. Maroons have already had 4 corner kicks, and they've had 4 shots on goal. Collinsville looking to get the ball down into the offensive zone for they've had it down there maybe a couple of times, but not any more than maybe 10 or 15 yards past midfield. So right now going against that wind is proven a little bit difficult for Collinsville to kind of pick up any more ball deeper into the offensive zone. That one's chipped out toward the sideline. Comes back out once again, and a little whiff there by Monaco. The ball will come all the way back to Sternow. Sternow will send the ball out to the midfield logo, and it's picked up there by Alyssa Sternow. Got a couple of Sternows out there. Belleville West once again taking a shot on the offensive side of things. That one's going to roll with the wind all the way across the end line, and it's going to be yet another goal kick restart here for Collinsville. Tell you what, Paige Bonemeyer is getting a lot of work out there. She's probably not as cold as at the other end of the field as Brooke Stellhorn, who I think has had a ball roll her way just once. Belleville West sends it right back to where it comes from, and this time Bonemeyer is going to come out and pick it up and get out a little bit deeper with this next kick on a restart, and gets a little bit more air underneath it. Still doesn't travel quite to midfield as you would normally see on a calm day. So Belleville West will go back to work once again. Collinsville stops that progression, and the Kahawks looking to bring it up. Can't get a lot farther past midfield, so Collinsville's defense going back to work. There's Call. She'll send the ball all the way up to the midfield logo, but Belleville West uses a header to get it back. Judasek gets a foot on it, and now Collinsville looking for a little room to move, and here we go. A little deeper action for Belleville West, and they'll just tip it on back to Stellhorn, and Stellhorn will put a boot into it and send it all the way back out to midfield. Didn't really need much wind. She didn't get much elevation on that. Still going through this download process here. I guess I pretty had to figure this out at some point. I got another game tomorrow scheduled if the weather doesn't mess that one all up. Collinsville over at midfield, and now we're going to have a foul called against Belleville West, so Collinsville is going to get a free kick, but it's going to be from about 90 yards away of the goal occupied by Brooke Stellhorn. What do you mean there was an error? All right, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this thing on or not here tonight. Cannot access disposed object, blah, 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 blah. So, well, X'd out of something and did something, so it's kind of still moving and doing its thing. I don't think I've ever had this much of a problem downloading new versions of this app. I have been using this app since I've started here, taking over the Kahok Sports Network all those years ago. Belleville West at midfield. Collinsville looking to get the ball away. We have about 10.5 minutes left to go here in this first half. No score as of yet between Collinsville and Belleville West. Collinsville gets another ball down there, but no one back there deep enough wearing the purple and white. If they would have been offsides anyway. Closest one to that area was Everwright. And here is Giannini. She'll use that speed to move that ball around. Paige Bonemeyer sends it back out, then has to get back in goal. And then Belleville West comes over here on the near side, tries to take that ball out, but Collinsville is going to have another throw in, and it's going to be just outside of the 18-yard box here over on this near side, and it'll be Ella Smith who will handle those responsibilities. We are under 10 minutes to go. Okay, I'm finally to the point where I can click the word finish on this thing. And up the sideline it goes. Collinsville trying to move it up, but being double-teamed over here on this near side sideline. I believe that was Can't tell. Ponytails don't help either. 9.5 minutes to go here in this first half. No score between Collinsville and Belleville West. Belleville West has spent a significant amount of time in the offensive zone, but they still have nothing to show for it. Either the defense or Paige Bonemeyer has kept them shut out. Here's a bouncing ball, and Bonemeyer gets there first and grabs it before Belleville West could even get a shot on goal. So once again, Paige will be very busy as we approach 9 minutes left to play here in this first half. I think I might be to the point now where I can try this app again. We are going to give it a whale of a try here. Excuse me. Collinsville looking for a little offensive push here as we approach single digits, or we're into single digits as far as time goes here in the second half. Down to 8:35 left to play. Okay, there's 2.0. Look at that. It says 2.0 in the corner. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm going to find the right scoreboard once again and do everything all over. Oh. I'll try to do both here. Belleville West back in the midfield area. It's into Collinsville's offensive side of things. And the Kahawks will send it up the line, and it'll go right into the Kahawk bench. And then in front of the Belleville West bench, Collinsville gets it back once again. All right, let's see. I believe that's the one I'm using. It's got all the colors wrong and everything, and Belleville West looking for a little bit more offense again. Maroons get stopped. Collinsville's defense does a nice job back there of stepping up. And we will blue-green. That one goes over the end line, and we'll have another goal kick restart coming up here for Bonemeyer. All right. Blue. Home. Here is Ella Smith. She'll send the ball up, and then it ends up going back out of bounds, put there by Belleville West. So Lady Maroons will have an opportunity, or Collins will have the opportunity to throw it back in. Okay, I got my colors back. Hey, look at that. I got a scoreboard. Okay. Oh, look at that. I got some time. Here is Belleville West trying to move in for an opportunity. Collinsville, nice job by Janine, stepping in front of the ball carrier. A shot toward the goal, but Collinsville partially blocks that one out. And then Judasek says, get that out of my 18-yard box. And then Kahawks bring it all the way back up toward midfield, trying to get a little push going on the offensive side of things. We have 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. Let's see if I can help you out and get that set just right. Do. Okay. Look at that. I'm caught up. Took me almost a whole half to get that thing figured out. Meanwhile, Eddie Butterfield's over here going, this guy's horrible. 3:40 left to play here in this first half. No score between Collinsville and Belleville West. Belleville West has got 6 shots on goal. As far as I've been trying to keep track, Collinsville looking for their first shot on goal. Maroons have had 4 corner kicks. And we're getting close to ending this first half. Collinsville, as I mentioned, will have the wind at their backs and have it in their favor when we get the second half started. Collinsville looking to spend some offensive zone time, and maybe we get that going on right now. Here is Giannini. She'll send the ball up, and Belleville West sends it right back. Judasek gets a leg on it and sends it up once again as well. And Collinsville trying to keep the ball on the offensive side of this side of the 50-yard line from the football field, if you will. Belleville West will get it back. They'll send it on up, and just outside the circle, Morris will send it over to the other side of the circle. And then a ball that gets past her, Bonnemeyer is going to come out and scoop that one up with no problem whatsoever with the help of that wind. 2:40 left to play now here in this first half. No score again between Collinsville and Belleville West. Glad that y'all stuck it out with me there while I had a little bit of work to do on the fly. Whistle on the play. That's going to go against Collinsville, and Belleville West is going to have a free kick from about 50 yards out with 2:20 left to play here in this first half. Woods Basement System halftime show coming up for you. We'll see if we can find some scores, but I'm up here kind of by myself tonight, so I'm not going to have a lot of luck. Cardinals are in action. Blues just about ready to get underway, I think. I haven't seen anything on my phone telling me they started yet. And, of course, we got softball that happened earlier today, as well as the JV game. And we'll see what we can find out for you now that I'm done messing with the scoreboard. 1:45 left to play here in this first half. No score between Collinsville and Belleville West. And that one thrown just inside the corner there of the 18-yard box, popped up into the air by Giannini and sent down. And Ella Smith has it go off of one of the Belleville West players, and Collinsville is going to have a throw-in, but it's going to be just outside of the 18-yard box of Belleville West. I think that one was actually thrown outside the line there. So Belleville West will have the throw-in now. Turning around with it, trying to find a little bit of room to move, but unable to do so was Addie Gagan. And Paige Bonnemeyer will have yet another goal kick restart here as we approach 1 minute to go here in this first half. I would have thought that the Blues game would have already gotten underway. Am I wrong about that? They're playing Detroit, so if even... Pretty sure that's here? I can't remember. It's been a long day. 45 seconds to go here in this first half. And another throw-in coming up here for Belleville West on the far side of the field. And that's knocked out of bounds once again by Carly Call. Down to 30 seconds to play here in the first half. Collinsville trying to survive, having the wind in Belleville West's favor. That's a shot from a long ways away, but that wind's going to pick it up and carry it across the line. And once again, Paige Bonnemeyer is going to have a goal kick restart coming up here. And she's had a lot of those. She's been busy. Bonnemeyer will have just about enough time to get this kick off, and then that'll do it for the first half. And that's exactly what happens. She'll send that one out to the sideline, and the horn sounds here at Belleville West. And at the end of one half of play, no score between Collinsville and Belleville West as we transition you now to the halftime show brought to you today by my friends at Woods Basement Systems in Collinsville, all things basement-y. Woods Basement System has been doing their thing since 1986, and that would be trying to keep your home dry. If you have some water problems and water issues going on at your house, you need to give Woods Basement Systems a call at the Collinsville location, 618-708-4055. Woods Basement System halftime show. That's what we have coming your way next on the Kahok Sports Network.
Got vinyl? Rich's Record Emporium in Uptown Collinsville can take care of all of your vinyl needs and more. You can peruse through thousands of records, from country to hard-to-find jazz, and classic rock is always in stock at Rich's Record Emporium. Used vinyl, new vinyl, and hard-to-find vinyl. Don't forget to check out the audio room at Rich's, where you can check out the latest in audio gear, from new top-of-the-line speakers to turntables and receivers, plus all of the accessories. Rich's has t-shirts, record cleaners, turntable needles, wall art, and so much more. If you can't find what you're looking for at Rich's, they will do their best to find it for you. Don't forget to mention seeing this ad on the Kahok Sports Network for a 10% discount at checkout. Rich's Record Emporium, 131 West Main Street in Collinsville, or call 618-795-1333 or online at richesrecordemporium.com.
First National Bank of Waterloo, with over 100 years serving the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo at their Maryville and Collinsville locations, and now in Marissa, St. Laborie, and New Athens for all of your banking, mortgage, and lending needs with super low closing costs and low construction loan rates. When you need a loan, call the Collinsville team at First National Bank of Waterloo at 618-345-1121, or visit their Maryville or Collinsville locations or online at fnbwaterloo.bank. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 in Collinsville or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience, choose Lakeside. Keep your ride shiny and clean with Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville. Owner Jay Merkel and his crew at Extreme Details believe in the value of community and in helping their community hold the value of their vehicles with a sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details can handle any job, whether you drive a small car, an SUV, or even a bus or RV. No job is too big or too small at Extreme Details. Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal, no matter what you drive: cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, and more. Plus, Extreme Details can handle fleet vehicles for you and your company. Call Jay and the gang at Extreme Details at 618-977-1224. Check for periodic specials on the Extreme Details Facebook page. Put the shine in your ride with Extreme Details, 618-977-1224. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Lottie's Cafe offers food, cocktails, and gaming in a great atmosphere highlighted by fast and friendly service. Lottie's Cafe also offers a unique menu that features soups and salads, sandwiches and paninis, pizza and flatbreads, appetizers and desserts, as well as breakfast. That's right, we said breakfast. Unique breakfast items such as a breakfast stromboli, a breakfast BLT, and breakfast burritos. Lottie's also offers creative cocktails, a wine bar, the coldest beer around, and a video gaming area for those 21 and older. And don't forget the Lottie's Cafe gift certificates. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Check them out online at lottiescafe.com, on Facebook, or in person in the Strip next to the Walmart Neighborhood Market. Or call Lottie's Cafe at 618-223-8256. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Todd Duke here,
proud member of the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Whether you call us teachers' aides, paraprofessionals, or educational assistants, it all comes down to one thing: taking care of students. More importantly, your student. Yes, we are there for the teachers, and we help them in any way possible. But our goals are in line with our teachers in that we want to see our students succeed at not only being a student, but well beyond that as we ready them for the world outside of the classroom. We are Union Strong. We are Kahok Strong. We strive to help students reach their potential. We are the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Go Kahawks!
It's probably the largest purchase you'll ever make. We have 5 agents on our team.
We cover about an hour radius around St. Louis.
We grew up here. We know every town like the back of our hands.
Our job as realtors is helping someone find their dream home, whether it's a family or an individual. We just want to do everything that we can to keep the process as simple and as stress-free as possible for you.
The Blaylock Group, the official realtors of the Kahok Sports Network and Kahok Athletics. Once again, we welcome you back into the Woods Basement Systems halftime show here at Belleville West. No score here after the first 40 minutes of play. And no score at the Enterprise Center after almost the first period of play there. I think they maybe have about 4 minutes left, 0-0 between your St. Louis Blues and the Detroit Red Wings at Busch Stadium. The Cardinals are taking on the Anaheim Angels, and that is a 1-1 score in the third inning. Collinsville Lady Kahok softball team lost today 12-2 to Belleville West, and the JV team lost here to the JV Lady Maroons in the earlier game here by a final score of 3-0. Belleville West had a goal in the first half, scored 2 more in the second half to give us the 3-0 contest. That's a look at your Woods Basement Systems halftime show. We'll be back with second half action right after a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network. The Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville presents the Sports Page Lounge. Come check out Collinsville's newest destination for your sports viewing pleasure. The Sports Page Lounge features a 14-foot 9-screen video wall with games across the spectrum, from college football and basketball to the NFL, NHL, Major League Baseball, and NBA. Pair that with tastefully crafted libations from the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, and you have the perfect atmosphere for your sports viewing pleasure. The Sports Page Lounge, next to the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery at 115 Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 618-855-8027 for more information. The Sports Page Lounge, a new experience for sports lovers in Collinsville. Just because we're adults doesn't mean we don't have toys, am I right? If your adult toys consist of boats, campers, or RVs, then you need to call the GASA storage team of professionals. Winter weather in the Midwest can be quite harsh, and finding a place to properly store those expensive toys for winter can be just as rough as a Midwest winter. That's where the GASA storage team comes in, with outdoor self-storage and covered storage for your toys. They even have tractor-trailer parking, conveniently located at Horseshoe Lake Road and 111 in Pontoon Beach. GASA Storage, for the safe storage of all of your toys. Contact the GASA storage team, gasastorage@gmail.com, or call today. GASA Storage Team, 618-797-6100.
Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipStLouis.com, or call Pack Mail at 346-4884.
Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94,
Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our Kahawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a Kahawk, always a Kahawk. Hashtag Kahawk Family.
Once again, we welcome you back here to Belleville West High School. We are just about ready to get this second half underway. My name is Todd Duke. Addie Butterfield, freshman JV player, on the camera for us tonight. We appreciate her help, giving us a hand here as we're a little short-handed on a night when Chris Kettler was at the softball game. Zach Roseman a little under the weather. So every once in a while, this is how we had to do it back in the old days, man. We always had to borrow JVers to operate the camera for us at just about every sport, even at home. But now that we got the huddle camera pretty much everywhere, gymnasium and the football field / soccer field, then we don't have to do that much anymore. We are underway here in the second half. Look at that. My scoreboard's working and everything. We're underway here in half number 2. Collinsville has the wind at their back this time. We'll see if that will help them out any here at all, as Ashley Giannini sends the ball up onto the sideline. But again, that wind at your back is going to push that ball even farther than you want it to go. So that ball went straight under the bench, and Collinsville will send it. Belleville West sends it actually underneath the Collinsville bench with a throw-in. Collinsville gets this restart going once again. Ball popped around for a little while. Belleville West, they will have to be going into the wind. We'll see how that affects Paige Bonemeyer in goal. She is now to your left. Brooke Stellhorn in goal to your right. She's down there where the American flag is flapping away in the wind. And Collinsville looking to push the ball down that direction and get some sustained offense going on here. But right now, Belleville West has the opportunity. They send the ball up, and that wind will push it all the way back over here to this near sideline where it will roll right at the end of the Kahawk bench. We're just underway here in half number 2. No score after the first half between Collinsville and Belleville West. Well, some baseball coming up for you tomorrow. It is the home opener, and you use the air quotes for that because Fletcher Field won't be ready for the entire month of April as far as we know. So Collinsville baseball team is going to open their season at the Gateway Grizzlies ballpark. And that's scheduled for a 4:30 first pitch tomorrow, but we have some storms moving into the area tomorrow morning, so we'll see how that affects everything, see if we can get that game in or maybe delayed, not really sure. All depends on how bad it storms, when it storms, and how long it lasts. We'll all find that out tomorrow, and then we will finish up our week here on the Kahawk Sports Network with some boys volleyball for you. All the new scoreboards are put up in Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, so that game should take place there. Here is Belleville West with an opportunity, and that one goes wide. A little tic-tac-toe going on there in the 18-yard box, and unable to finish it up. I believe that was Josie Coughlin who had the last strike at it after a nice pass by Liv Schaefer, and that one goes wide of the net, so no shot on goal there. And now Paige Bonemeyer will have the wind at her back. We'll see how far she can send this one out on the first goal kick restart for her here in this second half. She'll send that one out close. Well, it takes a nice bounce to midfield. Collinsville comes away with it. Here come the Kahawks. Ava DiGirolamo sends the ball up, and we'll get it right back. She'll come up this near sideline. If she can catch up with that wind-blown ball, she does so before it ends up going out of bounds. She'll cross one into the 18-yard box, picked up there momentarily, and Collinsville trying to settle the ball down. Can't really do so. They got bodies everywhere going around out there. And then over here onto the near sideline it goes. Here is DiGirolamo once again, and she is has that ball intercepted by Sternow. That's Alyssa, and Alyssa will send the ball all the way up into that stiff wind, and they will find it, the Maroons, and that is Josie Coughlin, and that's going to turn into a goal kick restart coming up here, into a corner kick coming up here for Belleville West. This will be their 5th corner kick. They had 4 in the first half. This will be their first one here in this half, and they'll have to deal with that stiff wind. That wind's going to knock that ball down on its way. Maroons. It's on the way, and it's off of a head and across the end line, and Paige Bonemeyer will have another goal kick restart coming up here. We are about 4 minutes into the second half. Collinsville, by the way, has a full week off before their next game. That'll be 1 week from tonight, and that'll be at home versus Alton, and Zach Roseman is due to bring you that game. 2 days after that, I'll be bringing you the game against O'Fallon host. So Collinsville's got a home game Tuesday and a home game Thursday. Right now, it's all about this Tuesday, the very first day of April. Happy April Fools, everyone. Hope you all didn't get fooled too much. I'm really not a big fan of this day. All over the internet, I'm seeing stupid posts about Cardinals doing this and the Blues doing that, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's April Fool's Day. I forgot. Somebody posted earlier that the DeWitts, who own the St. Louis Cardinals, sold the Cardinals to Stan Kroenke, the former owner of the St. Louis Rams, now the Los Angeles Rams. I'm like, oh yeah, it's April Fool's Day. Don't pay attention to anything on the internet today. It's a wind-driven ball. It's going to be picked up by Stellhorn. Brooke Stellhorn, the junior goalkeeper for Belleville West, sends that one out into the wind. Didn't get very far, just the same kind of as Bonnemeyer was dealing with in that first half. That ball is going to end up going out of bounds, and it's going to be a throw-in for Belleville West coming up over on the far sideline. Coming up on 34.5 minutes to play here in this scoreless game between Collinsville and Belleville West. Lady Maroons get a hold of the ball, send it back out to midfield. Collinsville sends it out of bounds once again. And it'll be another throw-in coming up here for Belleville West. Probably should have been on the other side of the 50-yard line there, but nevertheless, Collinsville gets control of it, and they'll send it out, and the wind will blow it all the way into the Belleville West bench. Jason Mathenia takes care of that, gives it to one of his girls, and they bring the ball up. There's Ella Dubé all the way up the sideline. Trying to chase it down is Asu Giannini. She turns on the afterburners, gets a hold of the ball, and looking for somewhere to send it to. Sends it up the sideline, but no one there wearing the purple and white. And instead, once again, it is Dubé and Collinsville. And again, nice job on the defensive side of things, blocking that ball out. And here is DeHadaway. DeHadaway sends it into the middle for Judasek. Judasek will send the ball up into the Collinsville offensive zone. That skips past the outstretched leg of one of the defenders there for Belleville West, and the wind will carry it down the rest of the way. And it'll go out of bounds, last touched by Collinsville, so Belleville West will throw the ball in. They'll do so just outside the 18-yard box. Belleville West, as I mentioned, they have 3 games in a row. They are at Waterloo tomorrow and at Jabot on Thursday. Zach Roseman was set to have a volleyball game for you tomorrow against Jabot at home, but Jabot, just like Alton Marquette, didn't have enough guys to go out for their volleyball team, so they don't have a season this year either. It's 2 games that Collinsville has had to take off their schedule because the opposition couldn't put enough players on the court for a volleyball team. Just outside the 18-yard box, Collinsville rips the ball away once again. Over on the far side, they'll send it toward the middle, use the referee as a little bit of a screen, but that gets past its intended target. Belleville West takes control of it. Here is Schaefer. Schaefer trying to send it up. Judasek trying to stop that. She does. And then the ball sent back down to midfield. And again, a little bit of a misplay there by Belleville West. And they'll just tap the ball all the way back to Stellhorn. Stellhorn, just outside of the 18-yard box, sends it back up toward midfield. Off of a header by Judasek. Collinsville trying to settle the ball down. Get some momentum going on here. Girolamo was coming up the sideline, but couldn't get it to her, but the Cahoks will have a throw-in right at the end of the Maroons bench, and doing so is Liliana Lira. Lira throws the ball in and trying to spring DeHadaway out, and DeHadaway stays with the ball, gets past a couple of defenders. She's got more back there to deal with, and a pass over on the far side, banks off the backside of one of the Belleville West players. Collinsville still in control, trying to get a shot on goal here for the first time in this game. And it'll be sent back towards midfield. Belleville West on the move once again. 31.5 minutes and some change left here in the second half of a scoreless tie between Collinsville and Belleville West. Over on the far side, out of bounds, another throw in quickly by the Lady Maroons. They'll send it up. Collinsville trying to get back there on defense and trying to stop Liv Schaefer. That's successful. Collinsville trying to send it back down to the offensive side of things, and over on the far side, Cahoks catch up to it and begin that progression out toward the midfield circle. That gets past everybody. Collinsville couldn't get there to track it down, though, as The defense will get there first and tap it on back to Stellhorn. Stellhorn kicks the ball into that wind. Boy, you can see that wind just stopping that ball almost in midair and pushing it right back to where it came from. Over onto the far side of the field we go. Belleville West on the attack once again. Collinsville's got 3 defenders back. One of them's almost past the defense, but she recognized it and held up a little bit. Now Bonemeyer will send the ball back out toward midfield. Takes a bounce out into the Collinsville offensive side of things. And then over on the far side, a little shove from behind over there, and Collinsville is going to be the recipient of a free kick, I believe, over there on the far side, or is that a throw-in? I thought so, too. Well, we didn't like it. Addie Butterfield and I thought the same thing. We thought it was going to be a free kick, but turns into just a throw-in over there on the far side. And then players go to the ground. Now we have a whistle, and it looks like somebody will have a free kick, and this time it's going to be Belleville West. They'll do so from midfield into that biting wind, as we are just under 30 minutes left to play here in the second half. Line drive, stays low, popped up into the air, though, off of one of the players down there, and then Collinsville will get a hold of it and send it over toward the far sideline. Belleville West, that was almost a handball. And then over on the far side, Belleville West will turn the corner, and a centering shot, no good, and then Collinsville gets it out of there. Last second, Ashley Giannini was over on the near side post and got that ball out of there just in time before the Maroons could do anything with it. Ball comes back in quickly. Here's Dubé. Dubé sends it on up, gets it right back. She'll send it back to the defense, and Monaco will take care of it and send it all the way over to the far sideline. Kept in over there nicely by Belleville West. It's a foot race, and Ella Smith trying to catch up with it. Comes out front, and Collinsville once again sends the ball out, and then a bouncing ball goes right to Bonemeyer, and Collinsville avoids another hairy situation down there. 28:50 left to play here in this first half. No score still between Collinsville and Belleville West. Bonemeyer will send the ball out definitely past midfield this time. That's what you missed, not having that wind in your favor in that first half. Maroons got there first, but Judasek will send the ball all the way down. Stellhorn stops it from going across the line, and we'll just pick it up over on the far side corner of that 18-yard box. And she'll have a goal kick restart coming up here for the Lady Maroons. Very windy. Got storms on the way tomorrow. They're saying 60 to 70 mile an hour winds during storm time tomorrow. Calling for hail and possible tornadoes and power outages and all kinds of fun stuff, kind of reminiscent of the storms that rolled through here back on March the 14th. So we're hoping that it'd be nice if every once in a while the weather people are wrong and it's just rain. That'd be nice. I don't have any idea when I'm going to be able to cut my grass, man. It's supposed to storm tomorrow, and then it's supposed to rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So even if it's not raining on Sunday, I think the ground's going to be so wet I won't be able to get my grass cut for the first time this year. If I wouldn't have had a soccer game to do today, that's exactly what I would have been doing, is cutting grass. That ball ends up rolling out of bounds, and it's going to be a throw-in coming up here for Belleville West. They do so right over here on this near sideline to Alyssa Sternow. Collinsville intercepts. Kahawks look to bring it back up. Trying to get the ball over to Judasek, but that ball was mishit. Body on the ground. That's never fun if you're the one laying there. Here comes Belleville West once again. Over on the far side, it's Gagan. Addie Gagan takes a shot toward the goal. That's a high one, but it's going to bang off of the post and not go out of bounds. So Collinsville needs to get back and play some defense, and that's exactly what happens as Ella Smith comes in there and kicks that ball over the sideline. I believe that's Ella. And it comes up the sideline once again, and Smith tries to bank it off of the body of Coughlin. That ball comes right back to Smith, and she pops one back out toward midfield, and then off of one of the Belleville West players, that is Oliver. Collinsville trying to keep that momentum going in that direction. DiGirolamo couldn't catch up with it. Kahawks trying, and over on the sideline it goes. Nice job keeping that ball in by Sternow. Sternow sends it up, but Giannini, she gets there, and she gets into a little wrestling match with Schaefer, and then it goes across the end line, and we are going to have a corner kick coming up here once again for the Lady Maroons. This is going to be their 8th corner kick of this contest, or excuse me, their 6th. I put that in the shots on goal category. Collinsville has not had a corner kick in this game. Josie Coughlin will take this corner kick over here on the near side. Instead, it's more of a pass. Comes out to Sternow. Sternow sends one toward the goal. Wind bites that one down, and then it's popped up into the air over the football upright. So Collinsville avoiding another tense moment down there, as we have about 25 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here in half number 2. Bonnemeyer sends the ball back out toward midfield. Didn't quite get there. Stopped by Judasek. Judasek trying to wrestle it away from the Maroons player. Now we're going to have a foul called, and that one's going to go against Judasek. And Belleville West is going to have a free kick here from about 40 yards away. They have that wind to deal with, though. Normally, I'd say about 40 yards away is one of those tough things to deal with, but with this wind coming at you like that, it's going to take about 15 yards off of it. That ball will bounce into the box. Bonnemeyer will have that one, no problem. So Page will be able to drop kick this one instead of off the ground, so it should be able to get a little bit farther. Well, kind of mishit that one. It's a line drive. Takes a nice Collinsville bounce, though. Bounces into Collinsville's offensive zone. Header back out toward midfield, but Collinsville still down there hoping for a little bit of a bounce in their direction for offense. Here is Judasek. Judasek into the midfield circle. Sends the ball all the way down with a little help from her friends. Picked up there by Belleville West. Lady Maroons bring the ball up. Collinsville trying to step in front of the ball carrier. Oh, come on, that's just a soccer play. What are you calling, man? That's just a soccer play. There was no ill intent, no foul going on there. That's girls going after the ball, and they just kind of ran into each other. Ball comes all the way down. Belleville West looking for some offense. Collinsville sends it back out right by their bench. And it'll be a throw in coming up here for Sternow, and Sternow sends the ball up. Collinsville trying to wrestle it away. Carly Van Dyke also along there with Duhadaway. Both of them come away. Well, Duhadaway comes away with it. Nice play there by Van Dyke, but Belleville West comes right back, looking for another offensive push. They send that ball down. Heads over toward the far sideline. Giving it a chase over there is Addie Gagan. Gagan circles around her defensive player over there, looking for a little bit of room to move. Collinsville does a nice job poking that ball away. Belleville West comes up with it again, though. And they'll send it over right into the middle in the top of that 18-yard box. And a chance here, and another shot through the uprights there for Livy Schaefer. And Belleville West has had some opportunities here, even going against that wind. And they still managed to pop the ball up into that gust. So Bonnemeyer with another goal kick restart here from the ground. And that one stays low once again off of the backside of, I think that was Emma Hagan for Belleville West. Comes down. Collinsville trying to get the ball away. It goes back to the defensive side of things, and they'll just take it from one side of the 18-yard box over to the other. And then a pass up here for Duhadaway. And Duhadaway is taken out. And we're going to have a free kick coming up here for Collinsville, but this one's going to be from about 70 yards away. And it'll be taken by Ashley Giannini. Right in front of Hannah Liljegren. On the way. That one stays low as well. Collinsville got a little foot on it there and sent it back deeper into the offensive zone, but now it comes out over here to the far side. It's going to be a throw-in coming up here for Collinsville. And this throw-in being taken care of by Ellis Smith. Collinsville's got a player out there with no number on their back. That doesn't help me at all. Got a number on the front, but they're so small I can't even tell what it is. So hopefully that doesn't prove to be a problem later. Up the sideline it goes from Ashley Giannini. And it comes out, a little bit of a tangle up there. Belleville West trying to come away with the ball. They can't. Collinsville Gets the ball over to Judasek. Judasek will send the ball back to Giannini, and she'll send it all the way down past the defense. And Collinsville trying to get there first, and Stellhorn doesn't know what to do at first. She kind of hesitated coming out there after that because she had a defender coming back trying to chase the ball down as well. But Stellhorn will send the ball back out toward midfield. Takes a Belleville West bounce all the way out to the logo. Giannini trying to wrestle it away. She does so, and she'll send it right in front or in between the benches as Josie Coughlin will check back into the game for Belleville West, as will Emma Hagan. We have a new girl, another freshman on the roster on the varsity side, number 15, Reese Kaufman. Not sure if that's her out there with the jersey that doesn't have a number on the back, but at least I couldn't see one. Maybe the ponytail was in the way. I have no idea. Okay. Here's Belleville West. Morris has that ball taken away on a nice play there by DeHadaway. DeHadaway sends the ball up. Collinsville trying to get some momentum going up here on the offensive side of things. Over to the far side sideline it goes. Collinsville trying to get it into that 18-yard box to have a chance that Belleville West will send the ball back out. Collinsville is right there at the midfield stripe to send it back up. Try to create some more offensive opportunities here for the Lady Kahawks as we are halfway through the second half of this game. Still no score between Collinsville and Belleville West. Out to midfield. Judasek will send it on back to Smith. Ella will send it on up to DeHadaway. DeHadaway looking around, trying to find some help, find some, and then that ball ricochets off of one of the Belleville West players and comes out over here on this near sideline, sent up into the Maroons offensive zone, but Collinsville is there as far as the defensive numbers are concerned. They'll send it back out over to midfield, and the Kahawks look to go back to work. Carly Call sends it up. Collinsville does a nice job there getting around one defender, sends it back up, and the wind will take care of the rest. That'll roll all the way to Stellhorn. 18:40 left to play here in this first half. No score between the Blues and the Red Wings after one period of play. Jordan Walker with a solo home run in the bottom of the fourth. Cardinals trailing the Anaheim Angels now by a score of 3-2. Anaheim got the better of them last night in extra innings. Here is Bonnemeyer coming out, scoop up that ball. Keep it from going across the end line. And a possible corner kick, which Belleville West has had 6 of tonight. Under 18 minutes to go. That one sent all the way back out to midfield and beyond. Takes another Collinsville bounce, but the last person back there, Alyssa Sternow, she takes care of it and sends it back up for her teammates to get another shot here offensively. Collinsville has a couple of defenders back, Smith and Giannini, but coming loose with the ball here is Schaefer. Schaefer tries a pass into the 18-yard box. That's knocked out of bounds, and Collinsville will have the throw in and have to traverse the length of the field to have another opportunity here. Here is Ella Smith with the throw in. Comes right back outside, and now Belleville West will have the throw in. Carly Call checks back into the game. Throw in being handled here by Alyssa Sternow. Sternow throws it up the line, and that one ends up going back out of bounds again. And we'll just trade throw-ins over here on the same spot of the field. Smith throws it up the line to Hadway, trying to keep it in, but that ball ends up being picked up by Belleville West. And they'll make another push here on the offensive side of things. Here is Gagan. Gagan takes that ball all the way over to the far sideline and wraps right around the defender. Sends one into the middle of the 18-yard box, and a shot and a save by Bonnemeyer. And Collinsville lives to see another day. Page pitched the shutout in the Thursday night win against Belleville East. Saved all 10 shots that came her way. Belleville West now up to 8 shots on goal. Collinsville still looking for their first. Maybe their one and only shot on goal will be a one that gives them a 1-0 lead. Guy can wish, right? Collinsville trying to get back to work on the offensive side of things, and the defense stopped them. It'll be another throw-in coming up here for Belleville West. Just about 5 feet away from the end of their bench, and it comes in to Morris. Morris sends it back to the defense. Here is Hannah Sternow. Hannah, well, thought she was going to tap the ball back to Sister Alyssa. Now she finally does. I'm going to guess that they're sisters. Okay, heard that from the scorers in the PA guy. They are. Even with these headsets on, I can still hear some things. We approach 15 minutes left to play here in the second half. Still no score between Collinsville and Belleville West. So Collinsville doing a nice job holding both the Belleville teams scoreless as they beat the Lancers Thursday night at Kahok Stadium 1-0. The only conference win Collinsville had last year was against Alton, and I believe Alton is 0-5 to start the year. So the Kahawks will have an opportunity to pick up some more conference wins here this year. Kahawks bring the ball up, and that ball goes out of bounds off of one of the Maroons players. It'll go out of bounds, and Collinsville will have another throw-in. And more player exchanges coming on as Morgan Lang and Maddie Everwright check back into the game for the Lady Kahawks. And out comes Carly Van Dyke and Ava DiGirolamo. So they'll get a rest. I'm sure they'll come back in there for the final push here in the second half. As Collinsville looks to get an upper hand here. I have a feeling that whoever scores the first goal in this game is going to end up being the one that wins this game. And we're all up here in the box hoping it doesn't go to overtime. 14 minutes to play here in this second half. Of course, that is a possibility because it is a conference game, so they have to play overtime. If so, it'll be 2 10-minute overtime periods, and if we still don't get anyone to score, then we'll have to go to PKs. Which I like PKs. That's fun. I'd rather skip the overtime periods and just go to PKs, but that's just me. Here is Stellhorn. She'll send the ball over to the far sideline. Collinsville uses a header to bring it back down onto their side of the offensive mid-stripe, and then Belleville West gets a hold of it and will head back in the other direction. Little bodies rolling over one another there. Ashley Giannini kind of rolled over one of the Lady Maroons that was already on the ground, and that ball rolls all the way down to Stellhorn, and she'll have another opportunity to send it into the night sky. 13 minutes to play here in this second half. No score between Collinsville and Belleville West. Collinsville sends the ball back down on the offense once again, but there was a whistle that stopped the action. Collinsville committed some kind of an infraction, and Belleville West will have a free kick. It's going to be from about 65 yards out into the wind. Well, it's going to be a pass instead over here to Sternow. That would be Alyssa. Up the line it goes. Collinsville kind of overran it. Here comes Ashley Giannini. You know, Giannini's got some speed. She'll send it up and try to spring free one of her offensive players, but that ball picked up by that wind and rolls all the way to Stellhorn. You got to barely touch that ball, and it's going to roll a lot, especially with that wind coming from left to right. Off of the head of Judasek. Back to the defense, the back three for Belleville West. Over here to the near side, it comes to Alyssa Sternow. Sternow sends it on up the line for Morris. Morris back toward the middle there for Schaefer. Schaefer gets around her defender and sends the ball up. Giannini, she intercepts, sends it over to the far sideline. She thought Ella Smith was going to be there, but Ella was already running the opposite direction. That ball goes behind her, and another throw-in coming up here for the Lady Maroons. And once again, it'll be Alyssa Sternow who will have those responsibilities. Sternow throws it in once again, trying to find Schaefer. Back over now for Morris. Morris will just tick the ball back over to midfield for Sydney Oliver. Oliver puts on a nice move, sends it back over this way for Dubé. And then over to the near sideline it goes, and Ella Smith will just let it roll out of bounds, and then she'll handle the throw-in responsibilities. Coming up on 11 minutes to play here in the second half, getting kind of late. Here is Belleville West. And that ball hugging that out-of-bounds line. Sometimes I get kind of confused here with the white line and the yellow line. Yellow line, soccer. White line, football. Well, that's where the benches usually are. The big fat white line is the out-of-bounds for football. Rolls all the way back, and Stellahorn will come out and send that one back out to midfield. Wynn gets a hold of it and sends it out of bounds. Wind right now coming out of the east. It's supposed to switch a little bit and come out of the south, which means it'll blow more toward the press box. And if it's starting to do that, then we'll get a little bit of a shift in wind. That ball comes out to the midfielders' areas, and then it takes the Collinsville bounce. And Sternow will just tip the ball back over to Stellahorn. Stellahorn will send it over to the far side. Up the far sideline, Belleville West looking for another offensive opportunity. They send that one right into the teeth of the Collinsville defense. And then back out to midfield. And here's an opportunity for Belleville West, but the speed of Collinsville's Ashley Giannini will take that area away. And the ball ends up going out of bounds. Collinsville will have a throw in from the far side sideline. We're down to single digits as far as minutes go. Down to 9:35 to play here in this second half. Throw in for Collinsville comes from the far side sideline and then gets kicked right back to where it came from. $9:20 left to play here in this second half. Collinsville with another throw in, this one right at midfield over on the far side. Here is Judasek. Judasek sends it up. Collinsville looking for a bounce or two here into the 18-yard box. Opportunity, try to get a shot on goal, and they just can't. They got overtaken by a couple of speedy defenders there for Belleville West. Kahok's try to send it up once again. And then over on the far side, Morgan Lang trying to chase it down. Instead, Belleville West gets there, and they come up the far side sideline, leave a pass. Collinsville, they get there first, and then two players got there at the same time. They'll pop that one into the 18-yard box. Collinsville gets it out of there, though, before any damage could be done or a shot on goal. And then at midfield, Belleville West will start their push upfield once again. Send the ball up here on a pass to the near sideline to Emma Hagan. Hagan gets the ball right back from where it came from, and then a pop into the 18-yard box, just outside of it, actually. Collinsville got there, and then a loose ball picked up front, and a chance here for Gagan. She takes a shot on goal and a save by Bonemeyer. And once again, Collinsville avoids a little hairy situation there. 8 minutes to go here in this second half. No score between Collinsville and Belleville West. Bonemeyer looking to get that win behind her and get that ball on the other side of that 50-yard line stripe. And she will do just that. Takes a hit off of one of the Belleville West players, and the Maroons are trying to track it down. Collinsville gets there first. Nice move over there to keep the ball going in the right direction. And then the Maroons will get a hold of it and send it back up to midfield. Collinsville sends it right back over toward the far sideline. Belleville West gets a hold of it. Back out to the midfield logo it goes. Gets past everybody. Collinsville trying to chase it down. And getting there ahead of everyone is Emma Hagan. Hagan with a shot on goal, and that's shoved aside by Bonemeyer. Stays in the 18-yard box, though. And Collinsville will send it up the sidelines. Collinsville trying to avoid another hairy situation here inside the 18-yard box as bodies are flying around everywhere. And then Collinsville finally pushes that one out of bounds. Actually, Belleville West does, I believe. And that's going to be a goal kick restart here for Collinsville. DiGirolamo will check back in for Collinsville. Schaefer for Belleville West. No, it's going to be a throw-in for the Maroons. Comes in, gets past its intended target. Collinsville settles it down first. Judasek will send the ball back up toward midfield. Partially blocked for a moment there, but then that ball popped up into the air right outside of the midfield circle. And it comes over in front of the Kahok bench. Picked up there by Sternow. Alyssa sends it up, but there is Giannini. I like the fact that she wears those teal-colored tennis shoes. I can pick her out a lot easier. Another throw in from Sternow. Comes in just outside the corner of the 18-yard box, but Judasek finds the ball landing on her feet. She'll send the ball up, trying to find one of her teammates, but unfortunately, Addie Gagan steps right in front of her and intercepts that ball. Gagan now with it. Over on the far sideline, making the turn outside of the 18-yard box. A crossing pass comes in front. No one can settle it down. Comes all the way out the other side here, and here once again is Sternow. She gets loose from some separation. Shot on goal, and another save by Bonemeyer. 11th shot on goal for Belleville West, and Bonemeyer has stopped every single one of them. 5.5 left to go here in this second half. That ball popped all the way down, and it takes a bounce off of one of the defenders' heads for Belleville West and takes a big Collinsville roll. So Collinsville is going to have a throw-in coming up here from just outside the 18-yard box as we approach 5 minutes left to play here in this second half. There is Everett throwing the ball in. Number is up high on the back of her shirt. That's why I thought there was no number on it. It is up high, like right around the collar of the T-shirt. That, and she's got that, she doesn't have a ponytail, so to speak. I think she's got like a wrap around that ponytail, and that also causes a little bit of a blockage of the number there. Belleville West going to have the throw in now. 4.5 minutes to go here in this second half. Throw in comes up the sideline. Collinsville trying to get to it first. Stays up the sideline. Here is Smith. She'll send the ball up. It finds the foot of Alyssa Sternow, though. Sternow sends it up. Back out to midfield. And here is Gagan, but she overran the ball. Judasek settles it down, but play stopped on a whistle. Collinsville will have a free kick right from the logo, so about 60 yards away. Giannini will set it down right on the W for the Belleville West logo. 3:45 left to play here, and that kick is going to go low, and it's going to take a couple of bounces, and Stellhorn will take care of that. Back out to midfield we go. Opportunity here for Collinsville, trying to get it up, but that gets past its intended target, comes all the way out to Stellhorn. Stellhorn pops that ball up, and the wind will just knock it right down. Normally, that ball probably would have made it to midfield, but it barely made it to the 30-yard line with the football markings. Oh, boy, that ball was called out of bounds. That was close. Collinsville trying to get a little offensive momentum going here, but Belleville West intercepts the ball. Collinsville sends it right underneath the Belleville West bench. So another throw-in coming up here for Alyssa Sternow, and Sternow almost threw that one out of bounds, and it is knocked out of bounds by Morris. So in between the benches, Ella Smith throws it in, and it takes a nice Collinsville bounce, and then a little bit of a miss hit. I'm sure she wanted to get a little farther than that. Collinsville finds the loose ball, trying to send it up. Here's another chance for the Kahawks, but the wind has got a hold of that ball and trying to send it out of bounds, but over at the corner kick flag, Collinsville doing a nice job keeping it in. And now we're going to have a whistle. And Collinsville is going to have their first corner kick of this game. See if they can use that wind to their advantage. You're going to have to start it off to the right, let the wind push it back to the left. 2:10 left to play here in this second half. Kahawks, first corner kick of the game. Here it comes. High and into the middle, and it's down, but no one can get a shot on goal. Giannini is out there trying to wrestle that ball away. Can't do so. And it comes back out to the midfield area. Taken there by Addie Gagan. Gagan, she has some speed. She'll bring the ball up. Two defenders back for Collinsville. Being chased by a third is Gagan. And she has Schaefer coming up right down the middle and runs right into one of the Collinsville players. Kahawks get the ball. Get it out of the 18-yard box. But here is Belleville West not giving up an opportunity. And it goes just wide after Bonemeyer got a finger on it. That was headed toward the far side corner post. And Bonemeyer just got a finger on it to knock it out of harm's way. And it's going to be... Well, I guess she didn't touch it because they're saying it's a goal kick restart. From my angle, it looked like she touched it. so I was going to count a shot on goal, but not now because that one went wide. Bonemeyer from the ground sends it back out to midfield off of one of the Belleville West players. Comes back down. Here are the Maroons once again with an opportunity right in front of the 18-yard box. A shot and a save over the net. And that's going to be a corner kick this time for Belleville West. Bonemeyer makes another save. She saved all 12 shots that have come her way tonight. Belleville West has a corner kick, but we are down to the final 35 seconds left to play here in this second half. So the Maroons with an opportunity. Comes down in front, and it gets kicked across the line. It's going to be another goal kick restart, and Collinsville will live to see another day, and it looks like we are going to be heading to overtime, folks. That's what it's looking like at this point. We've got 15 seconds to go. Bonemeyer ready for another restart action here. Sends it over into her own bench, and that's where it's going to go, and that means that the final seconds will tick off, and we will go to overtime. So overtime periods are 10 minutes. We will take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have some overtime for you here coming up on the Kahok Sports Network.
Todd Duke here, proud member of the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Whether you call us teachers' aides, paraprofessionals, or educational assistants, it all comes down to one thing: taking care of students. More importantly, your student. Yes, we are there for the teachers, and we help them in any way possible. But our goals are in line with our teachers in that we want to see our students succeed at not only being a student, but well beyond that as we ready them for the world outside of the classroom. We are Union Strong. We are Kahok Strong. We strive to help students reach their potential. We are the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Go Kahawks!
Your home is where you feel happy, safe, and secure. So if you see signs of foundation problems like cracks or uneven floors, worrying is natural, and getting it fixed is crucial. Woods Basement Systems understands. We've been solving foundation worries since 1986. Woods experts have the training and equipment to make permanent repairs. So stop worrying, because with Woods, it's fixed forever. Foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with Woods, the all things basement-y experts. Call or go to woodsbasementsystems.com today.
Herald Square and Cold Herald, two great additions to the Collinsville landscape. Next to the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, Herald Square is a new outdoor multi-use event space in Collinsville. Concerts, fun and games, farmer markets, and so much more. Herald Square, a great space for Collinsville's future. And, just off the square's turf, Cold Herald, old-fashioned scooped ice cream gelato, house-made recipes, and premium-sourced product. If you're over 21, ask about the good stuff at Cold Herald. Watch Collinsville grow. Herald Square and Cold Herald, two great new additions, only in Collinsville, Illinois.
Looking for someone to help get your house in tip-top shape? Look no further than former Kahok Kara Gray with Clean Living Cleaning Services. From bathrooms to kitchens to garages to bedrooms and even commercial spaces, Clean Living is your place to go. Clean Living guarantees expert-level work done by expert-level cleaners. No matter how much grit, how much grime, let Clean Living shine. For more information, check out the Clean Living Cleaning Services on Facebook or call 618-979-9634. A clean space is a happy place. Clean Living Cleaning Services, 618-979-9634.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville produces their own spirits and beer on site, right at the restaurant. Pair that with some of the most unique menu items around the entire metro area, and you can see why they are such a hit. They can handle you and your family, or they can handle you and your group. Throw in the occasional live entertainment, and you can see why Old Herald Brewery and Distillery is a must-stop destination in Collinsville.
Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville, 618-855-8027 or online at oldheraldbrewing.com. The Collinsville Daily News, the new online source for everything newsworthy in and around Collinsville. This news source is designed to be the heartbeat of the Collinsville community and is owned and operated by members that live in this area. The Collinsville Daily News generates their revenue with local support from the community in which they serve and from advertising. They do not charge to read their content, so you'll never run into one of those annoying paywalls. Not only that, but the Collinsville Daily News offers free classified advertising. You have items you want to buy, sell, or trade? It's free to post. Wedding or engagements announcements, as well as obituaries, all free at collinsvilledailynews.com. Plus, they have the content that matters most. Collinsville news you need to know, coverage of Kahok sports, and a keen eye on city news. The Collinsville Daily News also has an event tab that allows you to find out what is going on in and around the region for you and your family, the heartbeat of the community. Helping readers make sense of an increasingly chaotic world. Check them out at collinsvilledailynews.com on social media sites Facebook and Instagram. The heartbeat of this community is the Collinsville Daily News. We are underway here in overtime period number 1. They kind of started everything a little bit before that 5-minute clock ran out. So we are underway, overtime period number 1. We will play 2 10-minute overtimes. And if we are still sitting at 0-0, then we will be going to penalty kicks. Collinsville back into that wind once again. And here is Judasek. Judasek will send the ball over here to the near side sideline. And then intercepted for a moment by Belleville West. So for this first overtime period, the Lady Maroons will have that wind in their favor. Here is Bonemeyer, who has made 12 saves here tonight. And Collinsville has a hurt player out there. Looks like Liliana Lira is laying down. And they stop the clock. So now I got to do some adjustments here. Stop. All right, now we're all caught up. 8:54 left to play. Lira being tended to there at the 50-yard line marker. Looks like it's a leg problem, ankle, shin, something like that. Not going to speculate. And we'll keep it here for just a second. Okay, they're helping her up, so shouldn't be too long of a delay. She'll come up limping a little bit, favoring that right leg. And the Kahawks will go back to work here. There's the whistle. We are back underway. And Bonemeyer will have a goal kick restart here. She'll get to drop kick this one, so hopefully she'll get a little bit underneath it. And then the wind just says, nope, not going to go too far. Not going to let you have that much fun. Ball comes out over here onto the near side, right in front of the Belleville West bench it goes. Maroons, they have the wind at their back, and they'll send it right off of the linesman over here. That'll go out of bounds. They'll throw it in quickly, will the Maroons. I thought that was off of the Maroons, but I guess maybe not. And now it is, and Collinsville will have a throw in. Over here on the near side sideline, Carly Call will take care of that. Carly got the only goal in the win over Belleville East on Thursday night. And Collinsville looking for a little offensive push once again. They had much more success doing that in the second half than they did in the first half. Here's a loose ball. They'll tap it back to Bonemeyer. She'll pop it up into the air. Not a lot of room to work with there with that wind. Makes it a little bit shorter, it seems. Kahawks get control of the ball. Sent up this near side sideline. Collinsville circling around with it. That was DeHadway. DeHadway sends it back over for Everwright. Everwright had that ball blocked out by one of the Belleville West players. And back up the line we go. Out of bounds once again. Another throw-in coming up here for the Maroons. Quickly, Addie Gagan throws it in. Trying to spring one of her teammates free. Addie will move it over here onto this near side, just outside the 18-yard box. Crossing pass comes in front. Collinsville gets there first. Judasek will send the ball up. Collinsville heading back the other way now. Kahawks looking for a little offensive push of their own. Here is Judasek trying to get it past. And Collinsville trying to catch up with it. Oh, boy, that was awfully dangerous as that ball got close to the goalkeeper, and the Collinsville player almost had an opportunity to take that one in and just didn't have enough room in which to work with. Kahawks bring it back up the line once again. Here is Everwright. Everwright gets around her defender. Coming up this near sideline. Gives the ball a little step, slows it down a bit, and then sends it back over here right in front of the Kahawk bench. That is Carly Van Dyke. Van Dyke will send it back to Carly Call. The Carlys, that's a handball right there. Did they call it? No? Hannah Liljegren called it. I saw a handball. Yeah. Eddie Butterfield here said it was a handball. Hannah Liljegren said it was a handball. The only one who didn't agree with us is the guy wearing the yellow. Here is Belleville West. They get the ball across midfield once again as we approach 6 minutes left to go in this overtime. Maroons have an opportunity, but nice job there by Giannini to get there and cut off that avenue. Comes in front, and a header goes in off of Addie Gagan. And after all of that, Belleville West goes up front 4 minutes into this overtime period. Well, the good news is there's no such thing as a golden goal here in high school soccer, so they will continue to play the remaining 6 minutes here in this first overtime period, and then, yes, they will play another overtime period, so don't count your chickens being hatched yet, folks. We still got some time to go left in this one. Collinsville with an opportunity to tie it up, and that ball was dangerously close. And then it gets popped up into the air, but it's into that wind, so Stellhorn doesn't have any problem circling back underneath that one. 5.5 minutes to go now in overtime number 1. As Addie Gagan picks up her 4th goal of the year for Belleville West. So now Gagan, Schaefer, and Coughlin all have 4 goals. Another opportunity arising here for Belleville West, but Collinsville does a nice job getting the body back there. That one's heading toward the over line. It is over the line, and it's going to be a goal kick restart coming up here for Paige Bonemeyer. So Bonemeyer stopped 12 shots in regulation, and then a header from Gagan gets by her, and Belleville West has a 1-0 lead. Bonemeyer. Line drive. Wind cuts it down once again off of the back of the head of Judasek. Comes down for Collinsville. Kahawks still have time to try to tie this thing up. And they will pop it up, and the wind will keep it from going into the bench. If there was no wind, that ball was heading right out of bounds to the sideline. Here comes Collinsville trying to approach midfield. DiGirolamo sends the ball up, but that's intercepted. And here comes Belleville West with another opportunity. Maroons looking for another score here, but Giannini stops that progression. Sends it over here to this near sideline. Excuse me, Kahawks coming up. Here is Everwright. Everwright sends it back to Carly pops that one back up to midfield, and Belleville West sends it back down into their offensive zone. Here is the young lady who scored the goal, Addie Gagan. Gagan out of bounds, and it'll belong to Belleville West. They'll have another throw in here right in front of their own bench. 3:50 left to play here in this first overtime period. It's going to be a free kick, actually, coming right in front of the bench. It's going to be from about 45 yards away. And it'll be taken here by Sofia Monaco. And with 3.5 minutes to go, we'll see what Belleville West wants to do. They have the wind at their back. They could definitely send this one all the way toward the goal, which they do, but comes to the front of the box, ends up going out of bounds, and we're going to have another goal kick restart coming up here for Paige Bonemeyer. Comes out, once again, right in front of the bench, belonging to Belleville West. Collinsville gets a hold of it first, pops it up back out toward midfield, off of a header by Belleville West. Judasek couldn't keep it going in the right direction. And the Maroons will send that one out of bounds, and it'll be another throw-in coming up here for Collinsville. 2:45 left to play here in this first overtime. And out of bounds it goes once again. This time it's going to belong to Belleville West on the throw-in. Collinsville, they get control of it first. Send it up the sideline. Everwright couldn't keep it going in the general direction Collinsville wanted it to go in. Now the Maroons get a hold of it, and they'll look to set things up once again as they approach that 18-yard box. Into the box it goes, and a shot that goes well wide. And Bonemeyer will have another opportunity for a goal kick restart as we approach 2 minutes to play here in this first overtime. Reese Kaufman, a freshman, looking like she's going to come into the game at next opportunity. We'll see if that happens here in this first overtime period or if they'll wait for the second overtime period. Here is Carly Call using that head over to Everwright. Everwright in control of the ball, trying to send it up to spring out Van Dyke, but that ball was blocked by the Lady Maroons, and then it goes out of bounds, and it'll belong to Belleville West. Throw in coming up here in between the benches by the Maroons. Collinsville intercepts once again. Everwright gets the ball out to Judasek. Judasek sends the ball back, and then they'll just tap it over to Bonemeyer. Bonemeyer will pop it up, and it'll head out of bounds, and it'll be another throw-in coming up here for the Maroons as we approach 1 minute to go here in this first overtime. 4 minutes into the first overtime, Addie Gagan scores off of a header to give Belleville West a 1-0 lead. That's where we stand right now. There will be another 10-minute overtime to play here. And that one is a header as well, but that one will go across the end line. And Bonemeyer will have another goal kick restart here. And this one once again going into the wind. Collinsville will have the wind in their favor in the second overtime period as they look to try to tie this thing and then send us into a penalty kick phase. That ball goes right back to where it came from. The wind will help push that one all the way back out, but Collinsville sends it across the sideline, so it'll just turn into a throw-in coming up here for the Maroons. And they take their sweet time getting up there to throw this one in. Here is the throw-in by Sternow. That's Hannah. In front it goes, picked up by Bonemeyer. She can just hold on to it until the time winds down if she wants to, and that's exactly what she is going to do. So one more overtime period will be coming up. We take another timeout, and we'll be back with overtime period number 2 after a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Projects in and around your home can be daunting and overwhelming. Take the stress out of those projects and let AW Indoor and Outdoor Solutions do all the heavy lifting. Former Kahok Adam Welly can help knock those projects off your list. From framing drywall, painting, and stair work inside to deck work, hardscapes, and concrete and retaining wall construction outside your home, including power washing and brush removal. Whatever the task, AW Indoor and Outdoor Solutions can help. Call Adam Welly for a free estimate at AW Indoor and Outdoor Solutions, 314-252-8010. That's 314-252-8010. Diamonds for Kahawks is a facility improvement project to develop a baseball, softball, and football/soccer field for CHS students and our communities to utilize. The project includes 2 baseball fields, 2 softball fields, a soccer/football field, concession stand, bathrooms, and parking. The development of this facility will benefit the band, PE classes, baseball team, softball team, and soccer team with a centralized location, ease of access, and an eye-catching complex. Please contact A.D. Clay Smith to donate to this project or visit the Collinsville Area Community Foundation website to make your tax-deductible donation today. Looking for something to get your high school student involved in? Maybe joining the Collinsville Kahok Trap Team is that something. Created in 2017, the Collinsville Kahok Trap Team has joined a long line of area schools in one of the fastest growing and safest sports in the country. Trap shooting is a fun, team-oriented outdoor sport that offers friendship, competition, and teamwork, all in a safe and fun environment that encourages students to be part of a team in which they will learn valuable skills and are encouraged to engage in community involvement through volunteering and mentoring. If Collinsville Trap sounds like something your student would be interested in, call Collinsville Trap at 618-795-9893 or visit Collinsville Kahok Trap on Facebook.
Once again, we welcome you back here to Belleville West High School. 1 overtime in the books, 1 more overtime to go. My name is Todd Duke. Addie Butterfield on the camera for us tonight. she's getting a workout over here as well. Her first time doing the camera. She's like, is it always like this? Yeah, sometimes, especially when it's a conference game. You can't have a tie like you can playing non-conference teams, so you got to go to overtime, and Collinsville's looking for this tying goal once again to send us to penalty kicks. We'll see if that indeed happens, as we are just about ready to get underway here in overtime period number 2. Maroons will get the ball in their possession first. We are underway. Collinsville will have the wind at their back. So they're looking to wrestle the ball away here from the Belleville West defense. Get themselves an opportunity. They've had one shot on goal tonight, has Collinsville. Belleville West has had 13. Bonemeyer has shoved aside 12. Actually, we didn't switch sides, did we? Well, that's kind of unfair. I would have figured they would have taken turns switching sides again, but apparently not. Did they? Yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm confused. Giannini will send the ball down, and that one's headed right back out to the midfield circle. Belleville West going into the win now, looking for another opportunity, and here once again is Gagan. She'll take the shot, but that'll go wide, and Bonemeyer will have a goal kick restart coming up here once again. Now we've got 2 soccer balls out there. One came from one side, one came from the other side. Bonemeyer ready to send us back to work. Collinsville knows now they have got to get a goal here in the next 8.5 and some change as far as the minutes are concerned. Kahawks, they take control of it at midfield, trying to move it on up for an offensive opportunity here. Belleville West, they have the lead. What they want to do now is play some defense. Collinsville looking to turn nothing but offensive performance after offensive performance in here. Into the middle of the field it goes. Collinsville gets a hold of it, and we'll send it all the way down. Stellhorn will wait for it to roll into the 18-yard box. She'll settle it down. And as Collinsville has some players approach, she'll dive on the ball. Yeah, I know, trying to waste time. She dribbled that ball around until I believe Judasek got there, and finally she had to throw herself on top of the ball like it was a grenade. Collinsville back out into the defensive side of things. We'll tap that one back to Bonemeyer. She'll use that wind behind her back and send the ball all the way back out to the midfield circle. Off of a header. Rolls toward the Belleville West bench. Settle down there. Collinsville trying to keep it in. They do. It skirts up the sideline. And then a little tap over to Stellhorn, and that one will go out of bounds. Collinsville will have a throw in. And the Kahawks looking for a little magic here as Carly Call throws the ball in over to Van Dyke. And that's Hadway comes out. Here's Giannini. Giannini taps the ball over to the far side in toward the middle of the field. And Everett will try to move it up. And then Belleville West will just send that ball packing into the night sky all the way up against the fence over there that surrounds the track and field area here. Throw in coming up for Collinsville. And it heads over toward the corner kick flag. It'll be a goal kick restart coming up here for Brooke Stellhorn. 6:45 left to play here, overtime number 2. We will not have a post-game guest up in the press box as well. We will wait and see if we can get Claire Rendelman up here for the next opportunity. She wasn't down there when I got down there and got my lineups and stuff, so she's the next person I want to talk to. And then we'll start the carousel all over again with assistant coaches. I've already had talks with Sydney Carroll and Hannah Liljegren, so I wanted to give Rendelman a chance, but like I said, she wasn't here when I was down there earlier. Here's Giannini. Giannini has that ball knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in coming up here for the Lady Kahawks, and it'll be handled by the freshman, Reese Kaufman, into her first varsity game. Finds Hadway, and she finds Judasek, and then everybody gets taken off the ball by Belleville West. Giannini sends it into the midfield circle once again for Everett. Everett sends it over here, trying to spring Kaufman. Comes back to the Collinsville defense. Here is Carly Call. Up the line it goes, and Kaufman couldn't keep it in. So another throw-in coming up here for the Lady Maroons. 5.5 to go here in this second overtime. And close to going out of bounds, and then it finally does go out of bounds. Throw-in will belong to Collinsville. Kaufman throws it in again. Man, Blues and the Red Wings locked in a battle over at Enterprise Center. 0-0 after 2. We're locked in a close one here, too. 0-0 after 2 complete halves, and then Belleville West had to go and ruin things for us in the first overtime. So now Collinsville's got to fight for a goal to send us to PKs. If they don't, the Kahawks will drop this one and have to wait a week before they are back in action. That ball kept inbounds this time. And here is Laney Capel. Capel sends the ball out. Belleville West probably not looking to score another goal. They take an opportunity if they could, and we're going to have a no whistle on that play, huh? I guess you just say the legs got tangled up. Here's DeHadway. DeHadway trying to spring a teammate over there on the far side, but mishit that one. It goes right to one of the Belleville West players. And now the Maroons will head back in the other direction. Over on the far side sideline. Nice play over there by Collinsville to keep that ball from going any farther than it did. Excuse me. And then it sent up the sideline again. Cross stopped momentarily by Collinsville. That got past the initial defender, but thankfully the second defender was right behind and no further damage was done. Out to the midfield area it goes. Belleville West going back to work. Here are the Maroons looking for another opportunity. Here's a nice move by Morris. Morris with a shot, and that goes right to Bonemeyer. And that represents the 14th shot on goal by Belleville West here in this one, and we're getting kind of late in this second overtime. 3.5 minutes to go. Collinsville trailing by 1. Bonemeyer sends it back out to midfield. Off of a body in front. They're just at the bottom of the logo. Kahawks trying to get it away, and they finally do. And Call will send it on up. Trying to spring Van Dyke, but that missed the mark. And then a little pop fly to Sternow. Sternow finds Gagan. Gagan coming in, takes a shot saved by Bonemeyer, and then she jumps on the rebound. A loose ball, and then it's put in. And Belleville West will take themselves a 2-0 lead. So a goal in the first overtime and a goal in the second overtime. And that might just about spell doom for your Collinsville Lady Kahawks, as Bonemeyer made another nice save initially, but then the Lady Maroons find the rebound and send it back in. I was trying to get the number. That's why I didn't stop the clock. Paige is hurt. I just noticed I forgot to put the goal on my scoreboard. So now we have to do that twice. Still not even sure who scored the goal. I was trying to get her number, but she never turned around so I could see it. Yeah, I couldn't tell. Yeah, I don't like to speculate on that kind of stuff. All right, well, apparently we are into an injury timeout, so we will go ahead and take a commercial break here, and we'll be back to tell you anything that we may know, and we'll do that here in just a little bit on the Kahok Sports Network.
Caseyville VFW Post 1117 Auxiliary supports the VFW with post projects and fundraiser events. The Caseyville VFW Auxiliary also provides donations and sponsorship for Veterans in Need, Jefferson Barracks in St. Louis, the Caseyville Food Pantry, outreach programs, summer lunches for students in the Collinsville Unit 10 School District, and now the Kahok Sports Network. Plus, sponsoring CHS programs like band, theater, and sports. If you would like to provide support or join the Caseyville VFW Auxiliary, contact the Caseyville VFW Post 1117 at 618-344-9878. Are you a collector of sports trading cards and other sports memorabilia? Then you need to check out Rip'n Rookies Cards and Collectibles in Collinsville. Ripon Rookies specializes in sports cards from all the major sports, MLB, NBA, NFL, plus Star Wars cards and more. Ripon Rookies buys, sells, and trades cards and other memorabilia, and they have a large selection of single and graded cards. Walk-ins at Ripon Rookies are welcome, or you can set up an appointment for large collections at sales@riponrookies.com. Ripon Rookies, 102 East Clay Street in the Old Herald Complex. Open Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Ripon Rookies, Collinsville sports card and memorabilia destination. Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud Kahok alums. Located at 1966 Vandalia, Collinsville Barbecue Supply is your one-of-a-kind barbecue headquarters that focuses on everything barbecue and cooking, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, in-person class instruction, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts, including an in-house chef and pitmaster. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning sauces and rubs that supports our nation's first responder and military organizations that focus on the fallen, suicide prevention, and PTSD awareness. Stop on by, see the guys at Collinsville Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of the 4-time world champion Patriot Sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at collinsvillebarbecue.com or call 618-855-8855.
Back here at Belleville West, Paige Bonemeyer is getting a little assistance to get off the field. Not going to speculate as to what's going on with her, but she doesn't look to be in too good a shape, but she is walking, so that's a good thing, and we are back underway here in the second overtime period. And we have a little, whoop, I just blew that clock. I hit the wrong thing and took away all the minutes. 2:40 left to play here in this second overtime. 2-0 in favor of Belleville West. And Carly Van Dyke in goal now for Collinsville. Carly, 120 minutes so far on the year. And she has allowed a couple of goals and has made 28 saves. She came in with the exact same amount of saves as Bonemeyer did when we got things underway here. And a little after 6:30, Belleville West leading 2-0. 1 goal in the first overtime, 1 goal in the second overtime. And over near the corner flag it goes. I believe that Livy Schaefer scored that goal. So Livy Schaefer scores in the second overtime, and Addie Gagan scored in the first overtime, and that's your 2 goals. Really hate to see things like that happen when you work so hard to send the game to overtime, 0-0 after 80 minutes of play, and then overtime comes, and that's when the goals happen. Here is a corner kick for Belleville West. Comes down. Collinsville tries to send it back out, blocked until Van Dyke picks it up. 7th corner kick on the night for Belleville West. Collinsville's had 1. And the Kahawks looking for a couple of quick goals, but they only have 1 minute in which to accomplish that. That one's going to roll all the way back, and Van Dyke's going to take it. Bonemeyer is on the bench. She is alert. She is talking. She did walk off with a little assistance, but she was walking, so that's the good news. Not going to speculate as to what's wrong. Didn't appear to be limping, so I don't think it's a leg problem, so we'll have to let the medical folks all figure that stuff out. Comes back up. Collinsville gets a hold of it, and looking to get one last offensive push up as we are under 30 seconds to go here in the second overtime. That one's going to roll all the way to Stellhorn. And now the folks are getting ready to get up and leave. No score at the Enterprise Center after 2 periods of play. Haven't seen an update on the Cardinals since they were down 4-3. Out to the midfield circle. Final seconds tick away, and that is going to do it for this one. Belleville West will score a goal in each overtime, and they will pull out the 2-0 victory over your Collinsville Kahawks, and that will drop Collinsville's conference record to 1-1. And the Maroons will improve to 2-0. Thank you very much, Addie Butterfield. We appreciate your help. Time for the postgame show, brought to you by Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, owned and operated by Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and his crew are focused on helping as many people as possible live high-quality lives, all through chiropractic care and wellness. You can visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works, 410 Regency Center, just off of the Beltline Road in Collinsville, 618-343-3602, or online, chiropracticworkscollinsville.com. Postgame show comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an Invisired lipolaser machine. The Invisired machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The Invisired technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we'd be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that Invisired offers.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Visit Brad Keene at his Collinsville office at 106 North Clinton or call 618-467-8420. Do you have a big land improvement project that requires some outside help? Call Petroff Trucking Company. The Petroff Companies have been shaping the metro area since 1975. Family owned and operated, Petroff Trucking Company can do the job and do it right. Hauling, excavating, and grading, they do that and more. Petroff Companies also has roll-off dumpster rentals. They also specialize in dirt and rock sales. Petroff Trucking Company can help you develop your land for your needs. Petroff Trucking Company. Check out their website, petrofftrucking.com, or give them a call, 618-797-6100. Petroff Trucking Company, shaping the metro area since 1975.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the Kahok Sports Network and KahokSports.com.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an Invisired lipolaser machine. The Invisired machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The Invisired technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we would be glad to have you come in for a consultation, Get a first treatment and experience the amazing benefits that Invisaret offers.
And we welcome you back into the Chiropractic Works post-game show here on the Kahok Sports Networks. Lady Kahawks lose this one tonight by a score of 2-0. In overtime, Collinsville and Belleville West 0-0. After regulation play was over, Paige Bonemeyer, the sophomore goalkeeper for Collinsville, stopped 12 shots in the regulation portion of this contest. But Belleville West got a goal 4 minutes into the first overtime, and then 3 minutes into the second overtime, they score another one. Addie Gagan had the first one, and Livy Schaefer had the second one in the second overtime, and Collinsville falls here tonight by a final score of 2-0. A big thank you once again to Addie Butterfield, the freshman forward from the JV team, who operated our camera here tonight as we were a little bit short-handed. And that's going to do it for us here tonight. We are supposed to be back at you tomorrow with our first look at the baseball team. Your Collinsville Kahawks will be playing at Grizzly Stadium in Sauget as they open up the home portion of their schedule at the home of the Gateway City Grizzlies against Granite City. 4:30 is the scheduled first pitch if everything goes right and the Storms stay away. We will be on the air around 4:10, but we'll have to keep our eyes toward the skies. And, of course, as soon as we find out anything, we will pass that information on to you. My name is Todd Duke, and until tomorrow, everyone have a fantastic rest of your Thursday.